And that might be it.
So
okay, that worked. That's it. We're back. We're happy.
I can see the
going.
preview. It's
Yeah.
live on the thing.
Yeah, I am not going to go on about technology this stream. This time. This one time. I'm not doing it. I refuse. How's the corgi? What's his... Her name?
Piper, come here. Yeah, Piper, come on.
Hi, Piper.
Piper.
You got a Doge dog.
Will the corgi be playing
Yeah.
Maria?
I'm going to throw you through a window. Defenestration is the key. Speaking of the key.
Defenestration.
Andrea, your video is lagged. Do you all see that?
Is it?
It might be your interwebs, but I mean I can hear you, so it's fine. All right.
Is she on? Are you on an app or are you on the phone?
I'm on the app on the phone.
Yeah, that's
Phone
probably.
app. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Okay. Let's do it real quick. Oh, Mike Chang. Drizzle's talk.
Yes, this is me. I am talking. I'm watching the stream manager, which I can add markers and stuff with description right from
Nice.
it. I can also kind of clip it, but I've got to learn exactly how
you
that's.
have to learn the ropes.
Yep.
The ropes. Holker,
What?
how about you talk?
Fine, whatever. Is this good enough for you? You want more?
Nope. I need more.
You want me to talk more? Huh?
Why does everyone that does this a sound check? Why is everyone an asshole? Like everybody, like, oh my god, I can't believe you're making me talk. Oh, they get so butthurt. Like,
Why? I just don't understand. Even though I'm on a role playing game where we're telling stories and collaborating and whatnot, I don't understand why you want me to talk.
you know, I don't.
I don't get it. You don't get
I
it
don't
at all.
I don't want to hear you ever again.
Yep.
Andrea.
Hi, yeah, I'm Andrea. I am, in Kentucky, and it's a rainy day, and I'm laying on the couch with Piper, who's a cuddly little corgi puppy. Yeah.
That goddamn dog. All right, and Ken.
Oh, I totally hear me.
You hear you. Good.
Good.
Awesome. All right. Sweet. Now I'm going to do my little newfangled... I wrote notes. Hold on. Greetings and intro to DL system and setting. That's called reading your notes out loud. No one laughed. You should. It was hilarious. Greetings, everyone. This is our DreadLore game. It's called the Red Writ. It's a horror investigative game. It's in the DreadLore system. And DreadLore system is a whole thing. You can learn about it. There's a bunch of links. There's on the drive-through RPG, on the Linktree, Patreon, Lulu Press, Instagram. Thank you to for media production. It's from Couchfire Media. Hi. Who's our sponsor tonight?
No one.
That was your job.
Look, here's the deal, okay? Some of the forums I advertise for I solicit sponsorships on, they're not that well traveled or attended or
they're not trafficked.
On
sounds like they're trafficked.
I put up some flyers around Lexington, okay? And no one responded. I don't know what's going on. And then when I didn't get any in Lexington, I went to Pineville, Kentucky. Put up a few more there. I didn't get anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to get sponsorships. I think the next time I might go to like Wilmore, Kentucky, or Baghdad. Or maybe Gravel Switch or I don't know. I think
These
one
are
of those
good
places
places.
we'll have a sponsor. Like I think someone is going to be throwing money at us once we find the right person.
These are good places, Hulker.
Yeah.
You should do better.
I'll put up flyers, and I'll check back in about 3 months. We'll get a sponsorship eventually. I promise.
So let's have the players introduce themselves and your character. Just a brief stint about your character. We'll start with Andrea.
Okay. I'm Andrea Elliott-Johnson, and my character name is Leah Mizrahi, and she is a former IDF soldier, as most people who live in Israel are at some point in their lives. She decided to move to America after some territorial disputes were basically resolved in the late 1970s, early 80s, and she decided that she didn't want to live in a active war zone the rest of her life, so she moved her and her family to Detroit, of all places. Maybe she's realized maybe that wasn't a great idea. We'll see.
Ken?
I am filling in the shoes for a very interesting and outgoing and introverted journalist called Nord Zetterberg, and he is from, well, I think he's done enough drugs to where he doesn't really know where he's from. He thought he was from Switzerland, but it could be Sweden. And he thinks that it was a U.S. Air Force base, but he's not entirely sure. He might just be from the northwest of the United States and just had fallen into prey of the hippie cult lifestyle just a wee too long. There's no real telling, but he says he's Swiss or Swedish, one of the two, I'm sure of it.
Drizzle?
Yeah, I'm Drizzle. I'm playing Simon Vincent. He's an hard-boiled detective who doesn't want to believe in all this supernatural stuff because of what it may implement.
Really good. Concise. Holker?
My character is Anthony Terniak. He is a current border guard with the bridge, and a former aspiring priest, former not so aspiring priest, followed by a not so inspiring border guard. Who also is kind of into the occult.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Andrea, what are you eating?
Soba noodles.
Soba. Lord. All right, so the recap for last game. You all continued your, I won't call it investigation, because you weren't investigating yet. But what you all found yourself in the what's up?
Oh, I just my phone it crashed on me.
Oh. You all found yourself in the fancy diner. And you found common ground that some weird shit had been going down. Long the short of it is you decided that you're going to investigate Leah's apartment. She had talked about this. One of her friends, a guy named Cloyce, had arrived. He was severely wounded and he died. And then some weird things started going on. Some poltergeist undead shit was going on. Before you left the diner, you essentially signed up with Simon Vincent to help him on this case that he got from an investigator that he knows, a detective called Duck Idaway. Duck was and has been for like the past 30 years investigating these murders that have been going on. Duck said that, or Detective Idaway said that the murders seem to occur every 12 years, and it's always around an astrological event, and he needs help. Specifically, he mentioned the missing person who you guys have you have not discovered this person, but you've heard about this person named Gabby DuPont. And Detective Idaway mentioned that there was another person. Do you remember what that person's name is?
Annabelle.
Indeed.
Yep.
Annabelle. Did I give you the last name for it?
Butte.
Annabelle. Burt.
Butte.
Brute.
Butte.
Butte.
Yeah. It looks like butt, but with an E.
With an
And an umlaut, but it's Butte. Anyway, I think it's fucking hilarious. So, I was writing it and I was cracking up. You guys don't think it's funny. That's okay. That's okay. I give you gold. Give me nothing. Detective Idaway told Simon that he thinks that Annabelle needs to be protected, and he's trying to find her. So Idaway, in his coke-ridden self, leaves the diner after seeing a known drunk slam into the window and go down the street. It's raining outside. You guys investigate Leah's apartment. A whole bunch of shit goes down. I'm not going to do a play-by-play as I normally do. The long and the short of it is, you're in her apartment. Crazy shit's going on. There's people, two nondescript men beating on the door trying to get in, which you don't want to. Cloyce's corpse apparently rises from the dead and attacks you all. You fight it off. Leah shoots it in the face. It falls out the window and crashes to the pavement in between your all's two cars. Your bus, Nord's bus, and Simon's Buick. You all escape the apartment. You jump in the cars and peel out into the night. The neighborhood has been awoken by shots fired, by these detectives pounding on the door, or whomever they are. And that's where we ended. You guys have anything to add?
I'm no longer high. Probably
Oh,
at
indeed.
this point.
Yeah, your opium.
No,
your
he meant about your character.
Oh,
Oh, me personally. Yeah, no, I'm good.
your
Whoa.
little
Ready.
your little opium hit has worn off. It's true. So we start the game. You're in these two different cars. We're gonna say the Buick is out front because it was out front.
I think didn't we end off like right when I jumped out the window and was starting to come down or something like that? If I remember correctly.
No, we got into the cars.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in the cars, and you've gotten down the way. Engines revving, resounding off the high buildings on both sides, the apartments. Rain's beating down on your windshields because you're going really fast. It's just a slow, steady rain. But, at 60 mile an hour, it's thunderous on the windshield as you take a left, spin around the corner, hitting the red light, and you're out of sight of the apartment. At this point, it's around, I'm going to say, I think it's around 1 o'clock in the morning. I think. Point is, it's early morning. Everyone's been up all day. You're probably rather tired, especially after having felt and seen all of these things. That said, you got the adrenaline rush going on. Mariah, Leah's daughter, is soundly asleep in the car. Where do you all go?
Since I'm driving, I'm heading to Gabby's place.
Oh,
No, Gabby was not Gabby. The girl we're supposed to be
Annabelle.
watching. Annabelle.
yeah. So that's you're going straight there. Awesome.
Well, yeah. I'm staking
You get your steak
staking
out.
it out. Yeah,
I get it. Let me.
that was the plan. Was we were gonna go take care of Leah's stuff and then head over to Annabelle's to kind of sit outside and.
Oh, that's fine by me. That's fine by me. You do what you want. Who's in your car?
It's me.
I would be.
and, yeah. And
Who is it?
Mariah. Me and Mariah.
I believe I rode with Nord.
The butt. Buick. Yeah. So if we take a look at the map, Leah lives, I believe, the base of Palmer Park, and Annabelle. Do we have her on the map where her place is? I'm gonna Hulker, I'm gonna say that you're gonna be the map monkey since you actually have the Google interactive map.
All right, give me a second and I'll bring it up.
Should have gotten some gummy bears.
Hmm?
They really are my kryptonite, man.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Those Albanese gummy bears. Can't fuck with that shit.
We do have the generic map that you sent with Jefferson
Yes.
corridor and
Yeah.
Southwest Detroit and the
Yeah,
Corktown
I'm just
Bridge.
Hulker and I just went through and actually labeled all of the different points on the map,
Oh,
but
nice.
we don't have a.
You want me to show it?
Yeah.
If you did a screen share, I could probably do something with that.
Actually, you could just screenshot it, put it in the Discord, and then Ken
Add
could
it
just
to
lift
the
it.
I can do
Okay.
that too.
That would be a good idea. Our maps, man. Anyway, it's pretty far. I'm pretty sure that she lives in the Jefferson corridor, which is a few miles. So you have, since the Buick is out front, the action is on you, Simon. How are you pacing this? We'll say this is pretty much a montage, unless you're literally trying to do something like affect the narrative.
No.
In general, how are you trying to affect it? How are you driving? It's your show, so it's you and Tony.
I would have gotten out ahead, started out quick, took a few turns, and then slowed down, making sure that the van was keeping up with me, but trying to watch and see if there's anybody behind the van. And
Okay,
then,
as far as you know, no one's following you.
okay,
So in
And
the
so-
present, what are you doing?
I'm heading to Annabelle's house. When we get close, I would probably stop.
So you're not close at all. In this montage, since it's going to take a little bit of time,
Mhm.
as you're driving, what is the scene? Are you talking to Tony? Are you doing anything?
You mean Leah?
Leah's with you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So what? That was a mess back there. That was a shit show. Is he coming after your guy?
Is who coming after my guy?
The people who were pounding on the door.
I have no idea.
I mean, he was hopped up on something. If he's up and
He
moving
was-
around.
He was dead. I
I've
checked him myself.
I've seen a
I know
lot
what
of
death
people
looks like.
who have looked dead and have been high and come back on stuff. It's not that uncommon.
I've seen people bleed out before. I know what that looks like.
I know what death looks like as well, but people don't pop up from the dead and attack. It just doesn't
No,
happen.
you're right. Not normally, but this hasn't exactly been a normal night, has it?
Take a shot from my flask. No. So, Bo, we just need to get some rest. Once we get there, we'll take shifts watching Annabelle's house, and some of us can get some rest. That'll solve all this.
I sure hope you're right. I'm not so sure about that.
As long as we can protect the girl, that's the important part.
As you guys go, rain is slow and steady. Pretty cold outside. It's spring, but it's nighttime, and it's just been kind of cold. You're pretty north, in Detroit. Breeze off the river and such means that the windshield from your breath and the humidity inside the car is causing a little bit of fog. To go on your windows. It's probably, we'll say, like 40 some odd degrees, 43 degrees outside. So it's pretty cold. Behind you, you see the yellow lamps, the headlamps of the VW bus. Those old school. Even in 1982, his bus looks old. It's probably not even built yet. It doesn't matter. Because it's a 60s bus. As we move into the VW bus, Nord and Tony, you're sitting there. Nord, describe what's inside your bus for Tony and what you guys are doing as the VW's engine is going. Trying to keep up with the Buick.
The bus smells like chemicals, maybe a little metallic. It's very it smells like photochemicals, and then there's just crap everywhere. It's full of maybe a few knickknacks and gigas and whatsits and doodles. There are papers everywhere. There's just clothes piled up. I mean, if it didn't have so many photo processing chemicals in it, it would smell like moldy clothing and probably parties long past, body sweat. It's pretty gross in there. I mean, he is not a clean person. Nord is a filthy human.
Lord. Yeah, what are you guys doing? We'll say, Tony, you're up in front. In the passenger seat, there's trash. There's dirty socks, dirty underwear, a big roll of toilet paper, stuffed to the side, bags of chips, like 2 or 3. They're open, but still like half full. A jug of old milk.
You know where we're going, right?
I'm just following him. As I believe I'm probably starting to sweat from lack of having smoked opium.
We'll say it's only been a couple hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah, is it okay? All right.
It's only been a few hours.
Okay. Well then.
Someone who's like jonesing on opium is like, dude, that's all it takes.
I'm probably half awake at this point. I'm probably just doing my best to like. Are you real? Are you still a person? I'm probably phasing in and out of consciousness.
When he gets to that point, I will. I'll probably. I'm not going to do this on the stream, but I'll raise my voice. Say, Nord, are you going to be able to stay awake?
What? No, I'm good. Look in that glove box. See if you can find any I don't know, a thing, an upper, a fix, something. Do you have anything?
Do I have anything?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna pretend I don't hear these things. Probably more than I'm gonna pretend. Probably more. I'm probably more than some of the stuff I've seen tonight. Okay. I'll look in the glove box and I'll open the glove box.
What does he find, Nord?
Does he find any? I mean, there might be drugs in there.
This is the
I don't know.
montage. There's no bid, so
Yeah.
There
we
could
have
be a
control.
prelude.
I
We
mean,
have
there
quite
could
a bit
be
of control.
there could be a whole he just hides things everywhere, so he could be completely. I have no idea how many.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we'll say what you find, Tony, is a little Mentos roll like thing, and it's just full of Quaaludes. We'll say there's 6.
But I would imagine Quaaludes are probably not good for Norden.
Yeah. I don't think these are gonna help.
You find a little tiny bag, like of what you know is likely cocaine. Like a little.
Oh yeah,
tiny
that'll
bag.
do.
Oh yeah.
A little pump of that. Give me a
All
little
right,
bump.
as Nord becomes more himself. On the stream, out of game, Twitch. I don't know if it's a new thing they're doing, or if it's something that maybe like a bot figured out. But they were like, "Hey, you need to do an identification, like an actual identification, like do the whole face thing and whatnot." And also, I had to like rate the stream for drugs and mature language and all kinds of shit.
Oh fuck.
Like this last week, it was like, like I had to do like my ID. So I don't know if we've been going deep in the shit. At
Don't
any
do
rate,
drug kids. Like in real life,
yeah.
Nord is not a person that we should idolize as a
These are
human being.
caffeine pills.
Don't do uppers.
Don't do uppers and then downers and then uppers again. So
Yeah, be responsible with your drugs and your alcohol.
Little Gotham wants to know if we're all fucked up right now.
I've been in the car
Nord
for 6 hours. Yeah.
Nord is fucked up right now. All right. About 20 some odd 30 minutes go by. Nord, you notice that Simon is driving a little bit under the speed limit.
Could be worse.
Maybe even annoyingly so. As perhaps you realize in your coke-addled state that that's okay. Maybe you know why he's doing it. Maybe you don't. Regardless, eventually you guys pull into the Jefferson corridor. And where's my goddamn thing? And
I got the map.
yep.
We're good.
And you hang a left. So going east, going towards Annabelle's address. As you drive through the Jefferson corridor, you all see the destitution of Detroit in the early 80s. Shops boarded up with corrugated steel and plywood. There's not tent cities, but there's definitely homeless sort of and squatters stuck in different buildings here and there. You see the stereotypical dude with a barrel that has fire in it, warming themselves. As you're going through the slums, there's the smell of fish and the bay on the air. And it gets cooler as you near where the water is, where Lake Detroit. It's not called Lake Detroit, but that's what we're calling it right now. And then suddenly, boom, almost immediately coming out of the slums, you are in the opulence of Grosse Pointe. Enormous houses that sprawl out, lush vegetation, curated yards, in all directions. Little statues. When you come up to street corners, there's little squares that have, like copper statues that are all green and patinaed. Lamps that do like the bendy lamp thing that look all old, like they're oil lamps, but they're electric. All of these sorts of things. It's a stark difference. As you're moving through, perhaps you all realize how strange a 1960s VW bus, all hippied out, and a nondescript, normally beat up Buick look going through Grosse Pointe. As you're seeing, nice cars and such. It's very early in the morning at this point. We'll say that you got into the 2 o'clock range. The storm seems to be passing. The lightning and the thunder distant off to the east now. Gone down to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
As we go into the dread, this is when you guys can bid and that sort of thing to take over the narrative. As the Buick and the VW pull up to a large house. Brick. It's one of those houses that it's a rich person's house. Not like old money rich. It's not a castle. It's that nouveau rich where like the front door is bigger than it should be. You know what I'm talking about? It almost looks like a dollhouse door. There's like a barreled archway above it with 2 pillars that hold up this brick awning. You wonder maybe, is there anything weight bearing about those things? Why are they there? There's on either side. There's like a couple lion statues, like you'd see outside of a bank. Big green yard with immaculate foliage. None of the lights are on in the house. There's a wrought iron gate around the sides of a little quaint backyard that stretches into where you can't see, obviously, but a well canopied, long, in length backyard. So it's not very wide, but it goes into like what's like a forest or something. The building, we'll say it's 2 stories. What do y'all do?
Are there any side streets that
Yeah.
Okay, what I'd do is
We'll say that this is on a cul-de-sac, like a little shallow cul-de-sac, and so there's a couple side streets that go off of it.
Okay, I would pull along one of the side streets, one that's a little darker, that may be a little bit easier to hide our vehicles in.
There's
park.
nowhere that's dark. You're in a rich
Okay.
person neighborhood, so there's lamps everywhere. It sucks, unless you want to bid to find something.
Do we, since this is back into the dread, is it a new scene or same scene?
No, same scene.
Same scene. Okay, then I will bid detective to find a good place to situate 2 vehicles that wouldn't be too obvious.
Yeah, as you pull into one of the side streets, you notice just maybe a few hundred feet down the way, one of the lights has been busted out. There's some glass on the ground, as perhaps some of the rich kids, thought it was funny to bust a couple of the lights out, and it actually causes this pool of darkness. And we'll even say with that bit of detective, you pick one of the houses that, just from the look of it, you can tell it looks like someone's home, but you know better. They're probably on vacation, and they've just made their house look like it's inhabited.
Okay.
So as you pull your 2 cars out in front, do you park in the driveway or do you park out front?
If I can see from the driveway, I'll pull into the driveway. Since I know that they're on vacation.
We'll say with that bid too. Since you can see, what are you trying to get eyes on?
The Annabelle's house.
Okay. We'll say it's on the opposite side of the street. So you're a few hundred feet away and it's down the cul-de-sac. But as you kind of pull up into this driveway, maybe the yard has it's one of those annoying inclines you'd have to mow, but they have people for that. They don't mow their own yards. You can actually see a pretty clear shot down on Annabelle's house.
Okay. I'll stick my hand out the window, tell them to park behind me.
Andrea, what are you doing?
Occupying my mind.
Okay.
I'm massaging my foot.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just the camera angle was one of those.
No, fair enough. Fair enough.
I wonder what she's up to. Like kneading dough. Who knows? Awesome. Yeah, all that happens. Action is still on you all. What are you doing?
When they get parked, I'll get out quietly and walk up and knock on the window.
I get out.
I'm gonna do my best not to hit Simon with my car, because I'm probably not great at driving in this moment.
I get out immediately.
What? No.
Okay, I'm sure that Tony will help me park.
Will Tony help Nord park?
I tell him to just park behind him and stop.
All right. Who wants to bid so that you don't go through the garage door?
I am going to bid. So as soon as he gets close, I'm just going to yell "stop" at the top of my lungs, pretty loud to finally get him to do it.
Okay, I'm good. I'm here. I'm good. Thank you.
Hey,
what are we doing? Hey.
What? No. You and I are getting out of this vehicle right now because you need the rain to possibly wake you up in the cold of night.
I'm good. Thank you.
But he's so awake.
All right, you guys cut your engines. Again, the rain is still slow and steady. It's not something that's going to immediately soak you, but if you stand out in the rain for like 10, 20 minutes, you'll be pretty damp, unless you have a raincoat or something on. So, again, it's all on you all. What are you doing? You can talk to each other.
Guys,
is this Annabelle's house or Gabby's house? I'm not sure. Where are we again?
Shh! Come get in the car. We can talk in here.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I get in the car.
All right. Yeah. Now remember, guys, Maria's asleep, so keep it down a little bit. That over there is Annabelle's house. Yeah, right over there.
Yeah, that's okay. That the girl.
Yeah, the little girl that's laying here asleep. That's Maria. That over there is Annabelle's house.
She
How are we
knows
gonna get in? Are we gonna get in?
No, right now we're watching it to see if anything happens. We're not supposed to be breaking in.
Nord, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna go, you guys can watch. I'm gonna go type some stuff on my little typewriter in my vehicle. Let me know if something happens. If you want to break in, just let me know. I might be able to help you with that.
No. You just don't. Look, if you're going back to the vehicle, just do us a favor. Don't drive off yet.
No, I'm here. If you guys need a place, just run and jump in the vehicle, and I'll get away.
We'll let you know. That's great. You were great. You did a great job driving over here. Thank you. That's really helpful.
And if you want to drive, you can drive too.
Yes. Yeah. Let me drive.
That might be a good idea. I've done a lot of things tonight. Oh my god.
So as he gets out of the vehicle, I look at the others and I say, "I'm gonna have to drive."
He's gonna crash hard, from what I can tell.
I was inspired from the night, so I'm gonna go finish up my article in the van.
Yep. As you get out, you get back into your bus and start scrawling out,
And
some
developing
notes.
photos.
Oh, you're gonna try to develop photos in there?
Yeah.
All right.
As well. It's a dark room. It's a dark street.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can pull the blinds. What do you bid to get your dark room on?
Well, I'll bid. I think I have a background in. I'll bid the dark room itself. Maybe is that a thing?
You can do that. Now you can bid your ninja gear as traits.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a makeshift. It's just a couple of little boxes. There is lightning here pretty good, so if the stream ends, it's because...
Oh, is it actually raining there?
It's
I'm
on
here.
its way.
It just passed me, so it's gonna hit you real soon.
Oh, wow. Wow, I was right. So there's a thunderstorm on its way to Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I left it off mute, hoping that you could hear it because it's appropriate.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sunny as fuck here. And hot.
What?
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
No.
It's pretty hot. Okay. Right. Well, if the stream ends, then we'll figure it out.
No, we're probably fine. I mean, we rarely lose power, except for sometimes.
As Nord, you're getting into your chemicals. This is like a scene from Breaking Bad, I imagine. You're stripping down because you're using, the photochemicals that are not the best. There's no ventilation in here, so you just kind of have like a couple doors open, but you got to keep it completely dark. Oh, we'll say you have a battery-operated red light as you pop that on, so you can kind of see what you're doing, and you start dipping negatives in and such. And I've never developed photos, but I've seen it.
Yeah, it's just a very small. It's like a little table in the corner. It's probably just 2-3 feet by 2 feet, and just it's all sort of tied in, very compact. And I can only do like 10 photos before I run out of stuff. It's a very small amount of...
We'll say since you all are in it, you still hear the peal of thunder echoing off the lake. Maybe you can see some flashes. It's all distant from the lightning and the storm that's out there. Yeah. What are the rest of you doing? Right now you're sitting in a driveway in a rich person's house.
Oh yeah, so this stuff's all got to be tied together somehow. You were looking at that letter your friend Klaus had, correct?
Yes. The junkie. He said it looks like Sumerian to him.
Right, and so there's a ring of people using Sumerian code and probably abducting children. Do you know anything else that could help with this?
I mean, maybe it has to do with that Satanism stuff people have been talking about.
The satanic panic, it's all over the place these days. A lot of it's just drugged out kids doing stupid stuff, and people blow it out of proportion.
Yes, well, this is a bit more proportional, I think.
We'll see.
Well said. What are we gonna do when it starts to get light and we see nothing?
Then we'll figure it out. We got a little bit of time. We can try going and talking to them. I can make up something being a PI and just ask talk to them, make up some sort of excuse just to talk and see how they're doing, what's going on. They could call it a wellness check. Report that there's been some crime in the area. Ask them who busted out these lights above us. Could come up with anything.
Probably better you than me because I'm still in uniform.
Well, if you're in uniform, then you can call it some sort of border security. You're chasing somebody down who ran across the border.
You guys are
Yeah.
not really instilling confidence in the American justice system.
It's gonna get better.
You want confidence? You want confidence?
Maybe.
Don't look at me.
Okay, who do you want me to look at? Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
Welcome to America. Look, we're stuck here. We're waiting for someone to go in and out. Is the plan to confront them, or are we just gonna I don't know, take notes?
Well, do you have a better plan right now?
You look at the clock, you see it's about 5 till 3.
Because Idaway told me that he was keeping eyes on her to make sure she was safe.
So wait,
And so
Idaway's around here?
no, I told him to go home. We took this job so he could get some rest, so he wasn't sitting watching this girl all the whole time. To be honest, he could have been the one who took out these lights because he needed a dark place to watch from.
Yeah. It's not like they would have seen him or anything.
Yeah, 20
All right,
hours.
so I guess we'll just wait here for now.
If it would make you feel better.
Should we start taking shifts then?
Yeah, I'll take the first one. It looks like Nord went to sleep back there because I don't see any lights.
Well, he shouldn't have his lights on. We don't have our lights on.
As you all are hanging out, do you go to sleep or do you all stay up? What's going on?
I'll
We'd
stay
go
up
to
for a
sleep.
couple of hours.
Even though Tony said he'd take the first watch, I'm just going to relax. I won't go to sleep.
Okay. Does anyone bid anything for this, or do you just kind of let the scene continue?
No.
I think
for
after
the- I'm sorry.
are they still doing? Oh, has it been a couple hours?
No.
Okay.
For the chat, when they bid a trait, it's during the dread, which is one of the modes of play in the game. You've got the montage, where it's sort of soft role play, time's moving. Then you got the dread, where they're actually affecting the story. When they bid a trait, they literally gain some control of the narrative, and then they might have to use their dice to see if they're successful or not. So, for you guys, if you want to bid a trait to take hold of the narrative, you can. or you can just kind of let it move, and then we'll move on to the next. Basically, go into a mini montage to the next scene or to the next encounter.
Quick question. Nord, did you get the map? Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
just let me know when you want to show it. And...
Yeah. All right. No bids, right?
No, we'll
Okay.
go ahead into the.
As you all wait, Simon, you relax. You've done this before. You lean back in your driver's chair, kind of like click back the seat a couple times. Put your elbows, in the place that has, like, in your car, there's like divots where you always lay back from just the weight of your body. You get rather comfortable doing this. Leah, you notice that your daughter, Mariah, as I will call her for this game, she's just curled up into a little ball in the seats in between. She hasn't moved. She is out. Maybe she's like every so often almost purring with like a little bit of a snore, from sinuses, and that kind of thing from the weather. She's completely out. You find it a little bit difficult to sleep. You close your eyes, but it's like having just drank like 3 cups of coffee and gone to bed. You don't see anything per se, but in the darkness, the scene of seeing Klaus and shooting him keeps on going through your mind.
What I will do is I will bid it in my motto, which is it is what it is, to sort of be like, maybe play it through it a couple times, just go like, I'm not gonna, like at least internally go like, I'm not gonna be able to figure this out, by repeating it in my head. I need some rest, kind of thing.
Yeah, as you have cultivated this very enviable technique, and you're able to put these thoughts away, and before you know it, you kind of conk out. Maybe you say something in Israeli to yourself just under your breath. I'm thinking of some sort of mantra like the litany of fear or something. Like I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer type shit.
Yeah.
As you go into this very dark, dreamless sleep, the kind of which you've done before when you were fighting in Israel and in surrounding areas. Tony, nothing is happening. You are staring at the house out ahead, alongside Simon. Dark, the lights that are always on, like in the windows and such, they're made to look like they're facsimiles of candlelight. Maybe they even flicker a little bit. Your mind sort of wanders. You find it as now you're kind of looking at the house in front of you. This it's not abandoned. This vacation home, basically, that has no one in it. And you notice something peculiar. There are Christmas lights still up, but they're not illuminated. But you can see they're masterfully done, like all over the brick. Maybe as your eyes trace them, you can tell that they actually, if they were to light up, they're probably those fancy lights that actually like move or show what looks like a moving graphic. Something like Santa and the sleigh and the reindeers doing their bullshit. It's reaffirms the fact that you're in this really ritzy neighborhood. Because, in the 80s, that had to be a thing. Nord, a couple hours have passed. Andrea has turned into a corgi. A couple hours have passed, and she's the druid.
Yes.
And you're pulling the wet photos out of the vat and hanging them up on clothespins and that kind of stuff. You're standing in your flip-flops and your boxers, shirtless, pantless, with these big gloves on, and like safety goggles, and your hat. You kind of look like what's the One Piece guy?
Oh, Luffy.
Luffy. You kind of look like Luffy.
I don't know that one.
Anyway, the coke is starting to wear off a little bit. You're actually starting to get a little bit tired, maybe even scratching yourself, as these photos, they're very dim. They're black and white, of course, and maybe about yay big, you know. And the first bits and pieces you can see in it are the beach and the foliage of Bell Island and that kind of stuff. It's not completely developed, but pretty soon it will be. And you have your other photos as well. What do you bid to make sure that these photos are done properly? Because it's easy to fuck up.
Can I bid just? Yeah. Can I bid my fate?
You can.
Or can I bid my reports? Because that's part of my whole MO is walks off the path and reports.
Yeah, it's whatever the trade is you want to do. If you bid your fate, there's two ways to bid fate. The first is you just bid it like a trait.
Yeah.
The second way is you bid it like the titled trait it is, in which case the rest of the players have to agree that you can do it, because only one person can actually bid their fate per game, and it gives you like bonuses and such. So you can bid it just like a normal trait or as your fate.
Sure. Well, this is for my minor goal. As soon as I can finish this, I'm gonna jam all this stuff into a big envelope, and like send it off to the press.
Okay. So what are you bidding? What trait?
I would like to bid my fate.
Okay. And you're just bidding it as a normal trait, right?
Unless you think it's reports. I think it's reports. I think it's not a fate. I feel like this isn't like an emergency situation. This is just what he does.
Okay.
So I think he's just reporting. This is the technical process of him finishing up what he's seen and what he's done.
Okay. Describe what the scene looks like as you pull out the photos and all that stuff. And what do you hope to find in these photos?
Well, I want to see.
You've taken a few.
Yeah, I know. I want to see if the woman on the beach, if there's a floating woman on the beach. I want to see if this island dome turned out. I want to see if Eunice has a reflection, and I want to see if Cloyce is. It looks like a human that we just shot a bunch of things into, or if it was like anything magical about him.
Okay. So there's the floating woman. There's if Eunice has a shot or a reflection, and there's if Cloyce is a zombie.
Was that? Did they just kill somebody? Like, I don't know if they killed somebody.
Right.
Like,
so those are the three things you're trying to find, or trying to figure out what these. Okay, so go ahead and throw down. It'll be a threshold of 3.
Okay, and that's a D10.
Plus your action die D10, and then we'll say either you could make this a lot of. I could see grace, wits, or mind.
Yeah, mind would be.
I could see mind. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's just 2 dice so far?
Yeah, you throw down is always your action die and your aspect die. Now, if you want to bid ninja gear, then you can get an extra die.
Yeah, can I?
And you can get multiple of those. You can do up to 2.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll bid my lens kit that I like to bid.
Yep.
I don't know, hoping that my lenses did a good job of focusing. So
you're bidding your lens kit. Anything else?
And
are you activating any abilities?
My ability. I mean, I just have the Senate colors. as an ability.
You also have shooter.
Oh, and shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything moved.
Okay, so you're bidding your ninja gear. How many traits does your do your lenses have? Do they have any?
I have 3 traits because I added some from my
Oh,
advancements.
nice. Okay,
So I have
you have 3.
D8.
You have, yeah, so that'd be 6, 8. No, it'd be a D10.
Oh, a D10. So it's
Yep.
3 D10s.
No. You got your D10 reaction die. You've
Yeah.
got your mind die, and then from your ninja gear, you have a D10.
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever you're rolling, that's it. Now, are you activating shooter?
Yeah, I can activate
Okay.
shooter.
If you're doing that, you have to bid a trait. To
Actually, I
activate
think I used shooter when we were in the apartment.
Okay,
So I don't think
cool.
I can.
All right, make your throw down. You're looking
Right.
for 3 successes to hit limbo.
All right. So I got 3. An 8 is 2 successes.
Yep. 8 up is 2.
So I had 3 successes.
All right, you are at limbo. So that's a yes but situation.
Can I use my expression?
Actually, you can. Yeah, you can. You can make your proficiency rerolls. You can also abilities. You can
Yeah.
always use your abilities.
Oh, so I could use
Ye-
the Senate colors
yes.
and get a +2.
You would use shooter.
That's not. Oh, is that? I thought shooter was a trait.
Is it an ability or a trait?
It's a trait.
Oh, never mind then. You could use Senate colors. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be.
All right. So
my-
what do you bid to do it? What do you bid to activate that?
I would use World Traveler
It's up
because
to
I'm
you.
kind of off in that. Yeah, I could
All
use
right.
World.
Scent of colors requires you to be high. So how are you getting high with this world traveler?
Well, I think there's some Quaaludes that I saw.
All right. As you pop a few
No.
Quaaludes.
I do have
And,
a question though.
I can bid drug addict. Actually, can I do instead of World Traveler? Can I do drug addict?
That would be better.
Yeah, let me do drug addict.
I do have a question though. Is that world traveler in quotation marks?
No, it's just a trait.
No, you're not. Never mind. I was just.
World Traveler.
I get it.
No, that's I'm a what is it? A psychedelic traveler.
Oh, fair.
All right. So go ahead and make your, or you've already made your throwdown.
Yeah, it's a
And
reroll.
how many-
I think.
No,
Or-
how many upgrades do you have on that ability?
Oh, 2. So that's 5
Oh.
successes.
So you have 5 successes. Okay. So you got 3 from your throwdown, you get 2 from your ability. That gives you a narrative point since you beat it by 2. And you have a
Excellent.
clean success since you got past 3.
Yeah, and so I
Okay.
get to get one of my traits back.
No, you just have a narrative point. With the narrative point,
Yeah.
you actually gain control of the success. So I'm going to describe it
So-
to you. If you want something specific to happen,
Yeah.
you can actually kind of make something specific happen. I might tell you no,
So-
but
Right. So what I want to do is like use my narrative point now, and I'm in my van and I'm doing my Walter White thing, and taking Quaaludes, and just at the very end of this person's, like, he is out of steam, like he's gonna go into a sleep that lasts for days, and so he's like developed the pictures. He thinks, like, I swear to God, this Nord thinks that these photos are like 3-dimensional. They're moving, they're doing all sorts of things. He's in the moment, he's in the zone, and he knows that everything he's done has gone off perfectly. Like, he's got that hue, that RGB, like colorful, like glimmer is like around his photos, and he's just mesmerized, and it's like, man, I've really done it this time. They're all gonna believe me now. They're gonna believe. and he's jamming all this stuff in, and he put a bunch of stamps on the envelope that he's got just ready to send off to press, and he's like, like probably fading fast, and he writes this last note. Hopefully Tony will get it to Tony, saying, please stick this in the mail. I'm out. I might be out for maybe a few hours. You know, if you really need me, you'll probably need to find some kind of, well, maybe check my pulse, just in case I need to go to the hospital. And so Nord is out. You know,
as you look, as you're sitting there swimming, feeling the adrenaline of success, or what you hope is success, the elation, you've finally done it, mixing with the Quaaludes. You think you've taken 2 or 3, as your knees are wobbly, you don't have feet. As you're about to sit down and you're looking at these photos, your eyes wall-eyed, on the beach, you see this woman as she is turned, staring back at you. She's a Native American looking First Nation people of some sort. You're pretty close to Canada, so somewhere around there. Holker, if you know a native tribe up there, it'd be great.
Ojibwe or Cree.
Should be Cree as hell. As she's all Cree. And in fact, it almost looks like she's jumping and falling at the same time. As you see, she's levitating in this photo, maybe 2 feet off the ground, just like you remembered it. As you're sitting there and the paper's shaking, you can feel the smile creep up on your face as you get the other photo and look and see, in fact, Cloyce standing there, hair all down. You took the photo before he got shot, but you see the blood-stained pants and shirt, and you can see there's these. They aren't blue because they're black and white photos, but sparkles, inhuman sparkles, coming from his eyes and his mouth like Lopan, and his fingers have these like gnarled nails on them, like he's transformed into something. Maybe the flash from your camera caught what you guys couldn't see in the dark. You notice on the TV, it's not static, it's all those Sumerian emblems.
Ooh.
As you're ecstatic, you're shoving that in this envelope. As you sit down, and maybe you get a little bit of a nausea from having a belly full of, drugs. As you get the third photograph, and you see it has Eunice, the waitress, and it's kind of, a cockeyed photo, because, you didn't set it up, you were just trying to get that reflection. You see in the reflection, she has no reflection. As you look, you're like, oh my God, I was right. And then something happens as you're fading out of consciousness. You hear the door of the van open, of the bus. You feel it kind of rock with a weight of someone. As you stuffed all the photos into this envelope, you feel the envelope lift out of your hands, and as you look up, expecting it to be Tony, you don't see Tony. You smell the sea, salt, briny. It feels wet in here suddenly, cool, like a sea breeze in the winter. And standing in front of you, as it goes dark, you see a monster with seaweed hair, green skin, or maybe it's decayed skin, you can't tell. And you let out a chirp, which is the only scream your body can muster, as the thing smiles at you with rows of teeth and takes it away from you, surely. The rest of you. Whoever's looking, as it's been a couple hours, You can bid or throw down to see something.
Leah'd probably still be asleep, so.
Well, how long were our shifts? If you wanted to wake up for a shift, you could have. That's up to you.
I'd say a couple of hours will probably be what someone would have.
All right, yeah, sure. I'll bid. Steadfast. Does that work?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyone else?
I can't bid border guard because, to be honest, if I bid it, that's probably makes me more likely to go to sleep.
Okay. So only you bid, right? Simon, you're not bidding or throwing down?
Looking, I would be focused on Annabelle's house.
Yeah, that's fine. This
Yeah.
is maybe related, maybe unrelated. Do you bid
Well, I
or
mean,
throw down to see something?
Let's see here. I will bid Stoic, maybe as looking at her house, I caught it in the rear view or in one of the side mirrors.
So you guys know, when I say bid or throw down, it's usually a reaction to something in the world. It's not necessarily what you think it is.
Oh, then I'm bidding Stoic because I'm staring at
I see.
Annabelle's house.
So you bid stoic and you bid steadfast, which is good. As you both, maybe Leah, you're woken up by the shift in the car. Simon, he doesn't jerk, but he kind of looks over. He's staring at Annabelle's house still, almost like a statue. Maybe runs through your mind as when you went to sleep, he had the same look in his face, and it's like he hasn't moved.
Hasn't
But you
even
do,
blinked.
right? He just doesn't blink. He's like Gandalf. Maybe it's Tony who kicks or something. Who knows? Something woke you up. Half your brain was on, half your brain was off, type thing. As you both see, you can't see the backyard of Annabelle's house because there's a gate and there's a house in front of the backyard. But you do see light appear on the canopy of trees. So it was very dark. Now there's light, like a door opening and then a door closing. So the back door of the house opened, some light spilled out. You see a shadow move. It's all distorted because, someone in front of a door, the shadow's on the trees. It shuts. And you can tell, since you guys both bid, someone left the house out the back door and is going into those canopy of trees in the yard.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I think someone's leaving the house.
As Tony,
What do
you
you want to
wake
do?
up as they're talking.
Tony, wake up.
Whoa,
Someone just left the house in the backyard.
it did?
Yeah, it's like 3:00 in the morning. Nobody should be up. We should probably go check this out.
Should
Yeah.
we or should we wait?
Huh?
Should we or should we wait?
We
Well-
can't wait to leave.
At least one of us needs to check it out. Why is somebody up and leaving at 3?
Simon, I think both of us should go and check it out.
Okay. Leah, just watch.
Wait
you
a
want-
minute, dude. Do you guys even have? Do you have guns?
I got one.
I always have one.
Okay, I guess I will wait in the car. I will. What should I do if I see something else?
Honk the horn.
Oh, okay, if you're sure about that.
Just a quick, short one. Don't lay on it. Enough that we could hear, but people won't necessarily pay attention to.
By the
I
way,
don't think this is the kind of neighborhood where they won't pay attention, but okay.
I want to see if my pistol's the same as Simon's.
It's not.
That's too bad. No. There's a reason, because if I end up having to discharge it, I need to get a bullet that's going to fit, so that like they won't know.
Oh, mine's a 38 snub nose.
I'll deal with that later. Oh well.
Hey,
So I guess we get out of the car and go check it out.
be quiet.
So at this point, Leah will sort of probably get in the middle seats. Maybe scoot over Mariah a little bit, just sort of sit in the middle seat to be less conspicuous in the car. If people happen to look at that car.
You do. You note that Mariah is still fast asleep. As maybe you're looking at her, maybe you even push some hair out of her face. You notice she's murmuring something in her sleep, probably from all the stuff she's seen. She's not really making any sound. As you get in the middle seat and kind of crouch down in the seat a little bit so that a passerby wouldn't just immediately see you. If they looked in the car, obviously they would, but they wouldn't just see someone's in there.
Yeah.
As the other two head out, you guys make your way to the house. What do you do?
You said there's a fence all the way around it.
Yep. Not in front of the house. It's you got the house and then a wrought iron fence that goes around that and way. There'd be two big pillars, that acting as joints between the front fence and the back fence. It is climbable, although it's wrought iron, so it's got the little pointy things. You got to be careful if you do it. We'll say it's about it's 7 feet tall.
Is there a fence on on either of the neighbor side? Can we go down their fence line?
No.
Outside the fence? No.
No, and it's a cul-de-sac, so there's a little bit more room. You notice on both sides that's pretty much filled up with a dense forest-like, or I should say woods-like gap. And then so imagine a piece of pie, right? So here's the house, here's the other house. Both have fences, and there's a widening forest in between them. As you see, the cul-de-sac goes on. It's a rather hilly area and such, and it's woods behind.
Okay. So, Tony, looks like we're going to have to climb the fence real quick. So, you've watched people...
You could go in the woods and follow the fence down, but you'd be going
okay.
to the woods.
I think we can go in the woods.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we make our way around through the woods.
You go into the woods. Leah, you see they disappear out of sight. You see them again as they appear in the cul-de-sac. Are you guys sneaking? Or are you just walking up, or how are you doing this?
Are we sneaking?
What are you doing? It's a bid or a throwdown, meaning the threshold is 0. So if you do throw down, you just need 1 success.
I'm gonna throw down because I'm running out of traits.
Out of goodies. So we'll call this grace and your action die.
Good.
I'm gonna throw down.
You can make. Yep.
Ooh, 3 successes on that.
Nice.
All right, you get a narrative point for blowing that up.
I got 2.
And so do you. Do you guys use your narrative points to mold this scene in your favor?
I'm going to.
Or do you bank them? Remember, you can only have 5.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just going to say that like it's one of those things that like you see me like kind of just pop in and out of the shadows as you get down. We get towards the fence line, and I'm like hugging the line of the fence and the trees, and like the whole time I'm like I've got my gun in my pocket, but my hand on it, and I'm watching the back door and the backyard as I'm going through to make sure to see if there's anything there. I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, you do this incredibly deftly. You've done this many times before. We'll say that as you get into the wooded area, you can actually hear someone going through the woods on the other side of the fence, out of sight of you. You can't see them. They don't have a light or anything, and they're probably 100, maybe a couple hundred feet from you. As you realize, either this backyard is really long, I mean, like a football field almost, or they've exited out a back door or out the back gate or something. Simon, are you going to spend your narrative point, or are you just going to are you going to bank it?
I'm going to bank it.
Okay. Simon, fuck.
Yeah, you call.
I want to call you Poe Papillion. I just can't. It's really hard to not do that. Simon, you just slightly turn or look over your shoulder, wondering where Tony is. He's right there. He's in his border guard outfit. Maybe he's done this before. You don't know, but he's following your steps, and you guys meet eyes. You're both very quiet. Yeah, and that's where you are. Leah, in the car, you happen to note two things. First, your daughter starts kind of humming a song. It's just, as people hum, it's not like a full melody.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kind of hear like some of the notes. It doesn't sound very familiar, but it's a little bit of a haunting tune. Maybe the thought occurs, I wonder where she heard that, on the radio. You remember finding the D&D book, wondering who she's been hanging out with. Sorry if there's like children screaming in the background. I live near families. Second thing you note is you hear someone outside walk maybe down the sidewalk. You're facing the house in a car, so you just hear it. Yeah.
I look to either side to see if I can see anything in the side mirrors.
As you look in the side mirrors, maybe you see someone pass by, but they're out of sight. They're walking away from Annabelle's house in the opposite direction. So maybe they were walking down the street away.
Okay. So in that case, I'll do like an actual. In that case, I'll do like an actual, sit up and try and track that whatever it was.
As you sit up and look out the back window, you can just catch. By this point, the person is a house or two down. They're on this side of the street, walking a rather large dog, maybe medium to large size, shaggy dog. And can you guys hear that? Can't? Okay, good. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a screaming child somewhere in the distance.
It's Annabelle being kidnapped.
Right.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Obviously. Obviously. You notice this person walking their dog. They got the rain jacket on, big long rain jacket, thick, and a wide-brimmed hat, just a rain hat, and they're going down the way.
Has it been raining, or did when I noticed on the news this evening, did I notice they were forecasting rain or anything?
It's been raining the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it definitely doesn't seem like out of place that he's wearing a raincoat.
It's raining right now. No, it makes a lot of sense that he's wearing a raincoat. And it is a man, too, or it looks like a man. About the height, maybe 6-ish, maybe a little bit taller, 6'2". Kind of hard to tell. The person's hunkered down a little bit against the rain. If you want to bid to do something, you can. But that's what you see is this person's moving down, walking this large, black-haired, shaggy dog.
I will bid. I'll bid seasoned to say I've played border guard in Israel a few times and sort of like been taught to spot certain things that seem out of place.
As you bid that, you do notice. I mean, it's not weird for someone to be walking their dog in a neighborhood. And in fact, that seems completely normal. At the same time, it's like 4:30 in the morning, like 5 maybe. As you look over at the clock, you note the little digital. Is it digital? 1982? Were there digital clocks like this in cars? Yeah. There's a digital clock, and you see that it's all 8s. It's 88:88. As it flickers, tick, 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 as maybe kind of wonder. Look back, you think really early. It is a little odd. You kind of notice he's at the 3rd or 4th house at this point. He's not wearing rich people clothes. He doesn't look like a bum or anything, but he does look a little out of place. Yeah, there's something strange about it.
Okay. At this point, yeah, I don't feel just because everybody else is gone. Leah probably wouldn't feel comfortable leaving her daughter, so she'd probably, and she probably wouldn't want to honk either. So she'd probably just like look for like a notepad or something like that. Would there be a notepad in the car?
Yes.
You can drop a pip to say that there is, or someone can.
I can. I'll do it. Yeah. Anyway, so Leah will basically, get that out and start writing down whatever details of the guy that she can, make out.
Yeah, you pull out one of those big. It's a nice notepad, but it's one of those yellow notepads. You see that as you flip through it, it has a whole bunch of notes already on it. Maybe notes that Simon has made about other people. Since you dropped the pip, we'll say maybe there's some stuff about you on there.
There.
About all of you. Just little, innocuous things, but things he's noted, addresses and that kind of shit. Nothing incriminating. You start writing out just little bits and pieces. You see he's about 6'2", wearing all black, trench coat, this rain hat, which does seem a little out of place now that you look at it. It doesn't look American. You're from Israel, so you kind of perceive the world or this culture a little bit differently. You haven't seen anyone else wear this kind of hat. It almost looks like Eastern European, like there's the style of it. Big, thick boots, the shaggy dog and such.
Does anything strike me as odd about the dog?
It is a rather large dog, but it's hard to tell what breed it is. It's probably some kind of mutt. But I mean, it's almost the size of a Great Dane. So it's pretty big.
Does it seem to be like, how should I put this? Like, does its gait seem odd in any way?
It seems incredibly well trained and calm.
Okay.
Like, we'll say that, yeah, you'll know that, and it'll remind you of some of the military attack dogs that you've encountered, where that dog could fuck someone up.
Okay.
Yeah, that dog
Gotcha.
would fuck you up.
So chasing is probably the best course of not chasing is probably the best course of action.
Yeah. One of the things that's also strange is it doesn't look like a dog that should be in this kind of weather. And again, it looks like a mutt. You could just guess at what it is. But knowing Detroit's weather and this kind of stuff, it doesn't seem like this kind of dog.
Gotcha.
It reminds you of Eastern Europe.
Okay. Although it might strike me as odd given having just gotten a visit from my friend this evening, but out of nowhere.
You two at the gate, what are you doing?
I'm headed towards the person that I hear.
Are you gonna go in?
Tony, someone's come out the back gate. Someone's come out the back gate, and they're heading into the woods. We should keep going this way.
Okay, are we gonna let him go?
No, we're gonna follow them.
All right. So we go follow.
Really quick, I have to shout out to the chat.
Oh.
Say, a little Gotham says, "Them D&D players are bad influences, I tell you." And Ember goes, "Always up there on the hill, worshiping the goat head god." And then DJ No Fly, of course, kiss the goat. Good.
Nice.
That's what when we send this to YouTube, it won't have the chat. So. Okay. Right, that's funny. As you guys follow, you're not climbing the gate. You're trying to go around it, right?
Yeah, because if you said you said it sounded like they went through a back gate.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going.
Well, what I said was, it's not that you heard a gate. It just seems like
Right.
they must have a very long backyard, if they didn't go out of the gate. As you start going and following in the woods, you notice the woods get thicker as the gate continues. But there's it's not brambles per se, but it's this creeping vine that gets into everything. It's mostly dead, but it's chalky, and it just kind of grips on everything. It's harder to be silent as you're moving. The trees here are thick and sappy. You can see all this white sap that's come out of the bark and whatnot. These are evergreens. And so down below, there's just pine needles, dead pine needles all over the place, and pine cones and whatnot. As you guys go, you notice a few rocks that are cropping out, limestone-y looking rocks, and you kind of move between those. And as you look through the gate, it's about, we'll say, 6 inches is how wide the bars are. There's a word I'm looking for. 6 inches between the bars. At this point, you can see,
Spacing.
Yeah, thank you. Spacing, that's what I'm thinking of. The spacing between the bars. You can see, of course, on the other side of the gate, there's those tall, almost Christmas tree-like bushes for privacy. But here and there, you can see through. It looks like there's some kind of marbly or stony path that goes around just this opulent backyard. As you see, what looks like a person standing, holding some kind of dish, like a large, flat dish. This person's a good 60 feet from you, beyond the gate, or I'm sorry, beyond the wall, the fence. You have yet to get to the corner of the fence, mind you. Okay, so you're not at the back of the yard yet, but you see about 60 feet in on this path back to you. It looks like it's really dark, and it's in the canopy, so it's very difficult to see. It looks like they're holding this very wide bowl or plate, and they're standing there motionless. You can bid or throw down to hear or perceive something. I'll give you 5 seconds.
I'll throw down.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm going to throw down to see if I can hear him.
All right, do it. Drizzle, you gonna bid or you gonna throw down?
I'll throw down as well.
Do it.
What are we throwing?
Be action die and whatever aspect you think will help you perceive.
I think it'd be wits.
Do it.
Keep your wits about you.
2 successes.
One
That is
success.
a narrative point. That is not. Okay, both of you get clean successes. Tony, you get a narrative point. Do you want to spend it or not?
I'll spend it. So I think I hear this person. I start to hear this person mumbling. Maybe walking over leaves or something. Maybe also maybe there's also a full moon. We get a good look at him.
Yeah, as the clouds, the storm has passed. Simon, you notice, and there's some light suddenly, some of that blue, beautiful moonlight that's cast. It's almost a full moon, as you know, because it's. I think we said this. Whatever. You can see the shadows of the canopy, and Tony, as you notice, the person standing there with the bowl is not moving at all. But you do hear movement beyond this person, maybe as you described. As you both realize this person standing there is a statue. Some kind of tall marble statue. The action is on you guys.
Looks like that's not the person we're looking for.
We'll keep moving.
We'll keep moving. We'll keep moving, trying to avoid the light towards them.
It's very easy to avoid the light since you're in the underbrush. You're not in a clearing. As you keep on going down the way, up ahead, finally, this is a good quarter mile from the house. You're deep in the woods. You've actually gone up a slope a little bit. Maybe that's why there's a clearing out there. You see the corner of the gate, and as you pass the statue, you can tell that the bowl is full of something, a liquid that's very dark. As you get up to the edge of the fence and look back, woods and everything, there's outcropping of stones and
I
such
dip my finger in it.
Oh, you're on the other side of the fence of it.
Oh, the other side. Okay. I guess
Yeah.
I can't.
As you get to the corner of the fence, a pretty stark hill appears. You can see the top of it. It's maybe 30, 40 feet up that way. And there's a clearing. It's bald. Just maybe a couple trees. Looks like there's some kind of small structure up there. And in fact, on this side of the fence, assuming you go around, you do see that there's a back gate. There's no sign in the woods or in whatnot of whoever had left the house.
Do you think they hear us?
I will bid Can I bid resilient to be like to listen and see if I can hear any movement or
Sure.
yeah, that way I can hear if they continued up the hill, if they went back inside, what.
Yep, you do. Go ahead and throw down for this.
Okay, what aspect?
That'll be up to you. Because if you make this, then you'll get a little bit of narrative control. So what aspect are you going to deal with? What is the outcome you want?
I would guess wits, because I'm using my like smart detective skills type things I've learned on the streets.
Do it.
2 successes.
All right, the threshold to do this will be 1, so you got a clean success. Let me pull this up really fast. You hear a girl's voice, a teenage girl's voice. She sounds more mature, but since you got a clean success, you can tell it's a young woman who has a deeper voice. The average person might think that she's older than she actually is, but you can hear the breaks and whatnot. You can. It's hard to pinpoint why you know, but you've listened to a lot of people.
Fry.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's the vocal fry. You hear her murmuring or whispering something. And moving toward the back gate, you can catch just a little bit of what she says. It's just a fragment of it. And it says, "Put on the whole armor." And then it's indistinguishable. "Stand against the demon's schemes." Something undistinguishable. "For when the deep shall rise." And then it just kind of repeats under the breath, and it's unintelligible what this person's saying. As you hear shunk shunk, the gate unlock and open up. You guys are at the corner, pretty obscured. Do you do anything?
I'm going to watch the inside and see who goes, because it's going to be harder to see there, but once they clear the gate, I'll be able to see if it's Annabelle and somebody else. I can see who's going through the gate.
Yep. Tony, are you doing the same or what?
Yeah, I probably won't hear anything, but I'm guessing I would have seen visually the door open.
Yeah, you do. The wrought iron gate opening. You actually will hear the underbrush and hear the gate creak. As you both see a cloaked figure, just by the movement, probably female, 5.5 feet tall, perhaps, completely like with the hood up, wearing a black, completely black robe, and holding a book, big enough to be like one of those massive Bibles in one hand. In the other hand, it looks like straight up a flask, a beaker, some kind of potion, perhaps. And there's the smell of incense. You can tell from her hands she's Caucasian, and she starts slowly moving up. She's barefoot. She's slowly moving up towards the bald place in the hill. she doesn't seem to see either of you.
Oh, so she's coming out, going up, not going back into the gate.
Correct.
I think that's Annabelle. She's heading up to that house.
It's an odd set of clothes she's wearing.
I think she may be in on this and not a victim like we thought.
As she's about halfway up the hill by this point.
Well, if
You
she
think
ain't a
we should-
victim, then I mean, I want to read that book. Don't get me wrong, but what's
Should
going
we
on
go?
here?
Should we go back and get the other two?
Yeah, because eventually they're gonna find us.
All right. Do you want me to go get them and you stay here, or you want me to stay here and you go get them?
Tell you what, I'll go get them.
Okay. I'll try and get a little closer without alerting anyone. Just bring them back the same path.
I don't know that that's going to be possible.
What do you mean?
She's at the top of the hill.
Say, I mean, we can't bring Leia. We can't bring Leia back. And Nord. I don't even know if he's going to be able to walk.
Well, I mean, if you want, you and me can just go up there.
She's out of sight at this point.
Yeah, at
On
this
top of the
point,
hill.
Yeah, I say, you know what? Let's follow her.
Okay.
We're either going to follow her or we're going to go back. There's no way. But the others, they're incapacitated.
Okay. Then
What do
that's
you guys bid to get up there? Quietly, and or are you just going to stroll up? It is underbrush and incredibly woodsy. That said, if you can get to where she was, there is a path.
I'm gonna bid strong. I quit.
I'm going to bid. Let's see here. I'm going to bid lanky.
Yep. You finally achieved it. As bidding lanky, Tony, you stroll in and out of the... You do this kind of like fish dance through the woods. Meanwhile, Simon, bidding strong, you're tired. You've been up all day, maybe even a couple days. You're just... Your force of will is unmatched. you private investigator, you, as you both slowly and steadfastly start to the path. Back in the van, Nord.
Oh, in the
you
van.
Oh yeah, Nord, you stir. Oh my.
Hey.
Is that on purpose?
Well, you said I was disturbed, so
I
reacted.
Indeed. That's distracting.
Nord's not a normal character. He's a weirdo. It's just that's Nord. I mean, where is he? What is he on about? I bet
Indeed.
people out there all the time, and he's just like, what?
Nord, you slowly wake up. Your mouth is parched, dry, so dry, so dry. For a moment, you're just lying there with your eyes sealed shut with crust. You feel the itching in your nose. You need something. You have no idea. You're in this dark room in a van. You have no idea what time it is or how long it's been. And as you open your eyes, you unstick your eyelids. They kind of like pop open. You see this monster standing over you, leering at you, and then it is gone. You can make a sanity roll. It's your action die and your mind die.
I can do that. I can. Do I get to do anything, or just that's?
Yeah, you can drop proficiencies. You can activate abilities. You can bid ninja gear. It's all on you.
I am.
The threshold is 2.
Right now. Well, I rolled 2 with those 2 dice.
Okay, so that's limbo.
So I'm in limbo.
So it means you succeed, but there's an unexpected outcome.
Can I use my motto? They must know, and reach for my. Is it? There's a monster in front of me, or it's gone.
For a moment, it's gone. Yeah, bidding something won't give you any successes. You can bid something to activate an ability, that might give you successes. You can bid ninja gear to get extra die, or you can do proficiencies to reroll.
Let me see. Let me do a proficiency to reroll.
Okay.
I'm running out of them. Can I do? I'm guessing I can't do. No, we got. I think I can do learning.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. You are seeing horrible shit. You're learning shit.
So that's 3 successes.
Nice. As you blow it up. Because you blew it up with this, we'll say you don't take a derangement, of course, because you didn't fail. Nothing untoward happens, but you do gain a flaw. So put an asterisk. So it's another flaw is a trait that you can bid. You can decide what it is. As you look around for the envelope.
Where is it?
Seems to be gone.
I'm gonna dig. I'm gonna jump out of the van because I think I saw something and I bet somebody took it.
Leah,
look both ways down the street,
bursting out of the van, out of the barn doors at the back. You see a naked man in boxers, big gloves, and a straw hat. Nord leaps out like he's jumping out of a hurdle or over a hurdle. You see the dark room behind him, like jostle and chemicals spill and whatnot. As he's standing there in the rain, looking around, wide-eyed, with cocaine all over his face.
So Leah will roll down the window and sort of like lean out and whisper, "What are you doing?"
Did you see it?
See what?
It. The thing.
No, I didn't see anything.
Did you see anything come or go? I've lost my file. I lost my story.
I didn't see anything except for whatever this is.
Have you not been looking?
I've been up the whole time and I've been paying attention.
I can't find it. I looked through the whole van.
I can't imagine why you wouldn't have trouble fighting it.
As Nord
and annoyed and angry and
do you bid anything? Yeah. Do you bid anything to search your van?
Can I bid the reports part? Because I don't think I bid that. Or did I bid
you
that?
Did. You did bid that.
I did bid. Let me mark that. Can I bid they must know, which is my motto?
Yeah.
All right.
As you bid, looking around in your head, they must know is just going and going and going.
They must.
As you find underneath where you had passed out. You pull out the file. As you have found it.
Okay. I start putting my clothes back on, and
some of your clothes have some of the chemicals on them, so they just smell.
Yeah, that's normal.
You look down, you see the Quaaludes wrapper empty.
Good night.
The rain is just spitting here and there. Leah, you notice that the clock says 5:30. You know that sunrise is going to be in like an hour or so.
Okay.
Action
Well,
is on
get
you.
some.
Oh, if I find the file, I'm gonna go up to Leah, and it's like, I'm gonna tell her that this
Don't
is
tell me what you said. You go ahead and do it.
This is everything. They must know the truth.
But what?
God, oh look! And I open up the package and I start showing her the photos. It's like this was on the feature.
As you see
earlier.
the photos, Leah, you see a beach with it looks like there's a bright white spot. You see kind of a cockeyed photo of the diner with Eunice sitting there, and there's a reflection of the diner. Her reflection is very dim and darkened. In fact, it kind of looks like she doesn't have a reflection. It could be something in the photograph. You're not sure. As you're sitting there looking through.
Is there anything, what was that? Those are the only two photos, right? I thought there was a third one for some reason.
There's a third one.
It's the cloice between the cars.
Oh, yeah.
Nord, what's on that photo?
It's a photo of Cloyce.
Describe it to Leah.
It's a zombie, or is this just a human? No, wait. I got the description. He's got his inhuman sparkle, like, and his gnarled fingers. He's like a monster, but I don't think we did that in the game.
As Leah, you're looking through these photos, the first two, and Nord is describing what's not on them until you get to the third one. And you see exactly what he describes. Cloyce, this person you know who you shot in the face.
Yeah.
Just as he's describing, and he's very animated about it, standing there. As you're looking at the photo, and you see Cloyce look up at you in the photo. You may make a sanity roll.
Okay. And so that's your action in your mind, yeah?
The threshold for this, since you've made this before, and it goes up each time, is 4.
Okay. I don't even know if I can. Well, no, I guess I technically could get 4. I'd have to get a perfect score, though.
Remember, you can do proficiencies, you can do ninja gear for extra dice. And if you have an ability that helps you with sanity, or like a relic or something, then you could do that too.
No, but I will have been learning for as a proficiency. Would that work?
Sure, that makes sense. You're learning stuff you don't want to know.
Okay. Because that was not good.
Normally, sanity rolls are like 1 and 2 threshold, but as you make them against the same thing, it can get harder and harder and harder.
Yeah. I have 3. Would it be possible to...
Yeah, degrees of success are a thing. It's better to fail by 1 than it is 2 or 3.
Yeah. Would it be possible to spend a pip
to get you to limbo.
For
You would
that-
want to. No, you can't do that, but you can drop a point of breath. If you do that, you forego all rolls and you immediately go to limbo. But that's also a yes but situation.
I will. I'll just go ahead and stick with the one miss.
All right. As you're seeing this, as Nord is describing it, and then you see the photo literally move and look at you. Flashing in your mind, shooting close. Was he dead? Did you just kill him? You shot him in the head. You see his body on the ground, the head craned because it landed on its neck from falling out of the third story. You see the horror. As your mind races, what is the derangement that you have right now?
I took a tick.
Tick. Because you only failed by one, you won't get a derangement. But you do get 2 flaws from this. So mark down
Okay.
2 little asterisks. These act like traits. The only difference between flaws and traits are that I, as the arbiter, can bid them for you. And when I bid them,
Gotcha.
they're not exhausted. Okay? So they can be
Alright.
whatever you want. You get to choose those 2 flaws, whatever they are. As how does this actually affect Leah? As Nord, you see Leah, her eyes get big for a moment. Maybe her jaws like clench as she's staring at this photo. And you turn and see the one photo that actually took of this gnarled out human. Is it a monster? Is it not? I mean, there's the light pouring out of the eyes and the mouth like Lopan, but you know, even in your drug-addled state, that could just be an issue with how it was developed. It's hard to tell. And on that, we're gonna have a break. Let's do a 10-minute. As thunder peals.
That was like right there.
As thunder rips across the sky. That's gonna be the cliffhanger right there. So let's do a 10-minute break. Nord, is there any way you could put up something that says we'll be back at in 10 minutes? Like a little graphic, a text or something?
Sure. Do you want me to mute the audio on the stream or leave it going?
I say just put some music on.
All right, I can do that.
And we'll be back at, 9:10? So we'll be back at 9:20.
Okay.
Okay? Nice.
All right, we're back.
All right. We back. So our pre-roll is 29 minutes, so I will not do an ad right now. Real quick before we get back into it, hey chat, just so you know, thank you very much for being here. You guys are awesome. If you're just lurking, continue lurking. If you will, drop something in the chat so we know you're there, and it always helps. Each person in the chat, you have one pip and one narrative point, and you can gift one of those or both of those to one of the players. How that works is this: a pip allows them to change something small in the past. So, for example, Nord brought his flashlight. Oh shit, he didn't bring it. Well, he spends a pip. Now he's got it. Narrative points do the same thing, but in the present. So it gives them a little bit more narrative control. And in fact, when you give one of the players a pip, just say a pip or a narrative point and who you want it to go to. For the narrative point, if you want them to do something with it, you could actually facilitate that as well.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah, I just think it'd be kind of cool. That way, you guys can
Oh
actually
wait,
get
now
in.
we're really now it really sounds like we're Twitch streamers.
Right. And just for this stream alone, if one of you if one of you wants to bid the corgi, you can.
Huh.
All right. Now,
Bid the
you might think that I'm drinking coffee. This isn't coffee.
Huh?
Oh no. This is Nescafe. I like to call this coffee drink.
Ooh. Huh. Fair.
So
Gone
I'm
to
not
it.
a coffee maker.
Yeah, I could have brought one out here, and I just didn't.
Coffee product.
Right? It's coffee. It's actually not that bad.
Coffee adjacent.
Yeah, right. So long as I don't think about it like coffee, it's fine. All right. Thunder peals. Scares the shit out of Ken. And all of us too. Nord and Leah, you're having a moment with this photo. In the woods, Tony and Simon, you're climbing the hill. You're about halfway up as thunder rumbles. Out of nowhere, you don't see any lightning, but it sounded like it happened just above you on the hill. Action is on you two.
I think she summoned a demon.
What? Okay. They'll take anybody in the border patrol, and I keep heading up the hill.
I'll give you a pip for that. All right, as you both stealthily move, bidding strong, and I can't remember the other one. I can't remember Tony's bid. Whatever it was, to get up the hill.
It was Lanky.
Lanky, right. As you bid Lanky. There's a path, although the path is old. The rainwater has dilapidated it, eroded bits and pieces. Where the hewn stairs were probably at one time neatly cut. Now they're rather treacherous and rounded with certain grooves where the water has gone through. We'll say these stairs are made of limestone. I don't even know if there's limestone in Detroit, but here there is, I should say, and there are. As you're moving up, you can see the stone, the structure, Simon, that you saw up there before. You realize it's an obelisk of sort. It could be maybe obelisk sounds more like Call of Cthulhu. It kind of looks like the not a statue in like a graveyard. I think obelisk is actually what it's called. Is there something else? A pillar?
Is that like the statue, the Washington Monument? Isn't that an obelisk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an obelisk.
Yeah. It's four-sided, it looks like. It stands about 10 or 12 feet tall. And as you get up close to it, each side is around 3 or 4 feet. So it's rather thick. Thick. And tall. Right. Anyway, that's what you see. As you're nearing the crest of the hill, this bald hill, there's just 2 or 3 small pine trees up here. You see the grass in certain places is completely dead, and in other places bald. It seems almost random here and there.
I look at him when I see the obelisk and I say, now I know what that movie's based off of. Now I know what those monkeys were worshiping.
Simon, you shake your head.
Yeah.
You guys still do not have a clear view of whatever is on top of this thing.
So the obelisk is not on the top of the hill? It's like
It's off to the side a little bit. It's on the top of the hill. You can just see it because it's an obelisk that's 10, 12 feet tall.
I'll keep approaching.
You guys move up.
But...
Slowly but surely you move up as you hear, just as you crest the hill, this sort of almost in tune, almost in key, singing, kind of under the breath. It's like a chanting, like a going on.
What the?
And as you crest the hill, past this obelisk, 30, 40 feet ahead, you see a couple other smaller obelisks. So there's 3 total. And there's what looks like a slab with writing on it, probably like a tomb of some sort, you could guess. And standing in front of it, with her back to you, is this woman. And she's kind of doing like this hop dance to the right and the left. And then she stops, puts her hand straight out, and throws something that clatters onto the stone. After a beat or two, she starts again. It looks a little ridiculous, but in this light, in the moonlight, as it's pouring down, as you look around, since you're high up, you can see the neighborhood and all these little castles of Grosse Pointe rich people. You see the lake and this violent storm off to the east, fucking kicking Kentucky's ass. Lightning bolts and shit. There's some wind up here. It is actually rather ominous.
Do I recognize any of the other people that are up here?
There's only one person.
Oh, I thought you said that it's only one person singing. It's not a bunch of people singing. Okay,
right.
I misunderstood that. I'm going to strafe around to try and get a better look, but stay kind of off to the side.
Okay. At this point, so I'm not going to tell you when you need to bid because it's all up to you. So if you want to bid to accomplish something, you go for it. If you're just strafing off, that's fine.
Yeah, no, I'm just strafing right now.
Okay. What about you, Tony?
I'm going to stay where I'm at.
As you stay where you're at there, you see Simon moving off. Simon, go ahead and throw down. This will be action die and your grace.
Grace.
The threshold is, I believe
Not
it
met.
is what?
It's not met. What is?
Let me see. The threshold is 2.
Yeah, no, it's a 0 as of right now.
Yeah, if you roll 1s on all of your dice, by the way, that is an utter failure. So let me
It
know
was
if
a,
that happens.
it was a 1 and a 3.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I don't know if I want to. I mean, I feel like that'd be
Yeah, utter failures
that'd
is
be not
usually
taking
bad.
full advantage of the medium.
I'm going
Check.
to. I'm gonna roll or do a proficiency to re-roll my action die.
Okay.
Ah, there we go. That's 2.
All right, you're at limbo. As you're moving, strafing, perhaps it's the fact that you've been up for over 24 hours and maybe what you're seeing, what you've seen tonight, and your patience has kind of thinned as you find yourself moving a little bit faster than, a little bit more reckless than you're normally into, and making more sound than you expected. As you know, some twigs snap, and maybe you kick a rock as it scutters. Yep.
Bugs.
Tick, 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 tick. As the girl stops chanting and turns and looks. Since it's limbo, you're able to duck for cover behind one of the stones. That's a big fucking corgi. Behind one of the stones. Just in time so she doesn't see you. But she's looking. Who's there? Who's there? You hear her say. As you're all at this little bit of a stalemate. Down below, Leah and Nord. You're looking at this photo. You could have sworn it moved, but as you blink and look at it again, it's just of this gnarly homeless man looking guy who's been all fucked up, who is also your friend that you shot in the face.
Yeah.
Nord,
I did that.
You see Leah sweating profusely. Like suddenly just beads of sweat. Action is on you guys.
And she'll sort of, close up the file and hand it back to him. It's like, you can have these back now.
I'll put them in my. I didn't mean to upset you. I apologize. I was just excited. I thought I made some
And put some regular clothes on, please.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go get on my gear. I'll put some clothes on. I apologize. I feel
You
bad.
see you do have your pants on because you put them on, but they're on backwards. So the zipper's out your ass.
I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go put on my Where did the guys go before I put my clothes? Where did they go?
They went to go look at the house. They saw somebody leaving, so they went to go investigate.
About a half an hour ago.
Oh. Have you heard anything? I mean...
No, they haven't come back, so...
Alright, I wonder if I should go
And I didn't... Like, if you want to, you can. I'm not going to leave Mariah after all the crazy things happening.
Alright. Well, I'll suit up and maybe I'll go after him.
Okay. I will wait back in the car.
All right. Well, no, I didn't mean to upset you. I just.
It's okay. It's been a long night.
Nord goes and puts on some clothes and maybe his little Kevlar vest.
Yeah, you do. You strap it all on. You put your pants on the right way.
Yeah. Maybe does some stretching. And he's got some like Coke or cola, and maybe like the whoever's been. It's probably warm from a couple of days ago, but he kind of like caffeines himself maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you drink out of the bottle.
All right, is the action on me?
Oh yeah, it's on both of you.
All right. Well, before I go, once I'm suited up, I'm gonna go back and talk to Leah. And do you have a flashlight?
I do not, but hold on. And Leah will look in the car to see if there's a flashlight. Would there be a flashlight in there?
You can drop a pip for one. Anyone can.
Oh, I might have a flashlight. Let me see.
Unless Simon has it on his sheet, and then it's there.
I do not have it on my sheet.
Okay. Well then I will go ahead and drop a pip to be fumbling around and hold
Simon,
on, here you go. Here's one.
Simon, what kind of flashlight do you have? Describe it for Leah.
It's the one you see all the time. It's the big metal one which has like the ridges all the way down it and the big metal head. Yeah.
Yeah, so takes the D battery cells.
It resembles like a police flashlight.
Well, like the ones that we saw growing up, you know.
Yeah, it's not a black light. It's not a black light. What's this called? It's not a mag light.
Yeah,
it's
not a mag.
It's like it's got the big, like a Stephen King
Yeah, flashlight. Not one of these. It has the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good to have a prop, so I know what it's not. All right.
So it's metal, silver, and it has a larger head on it that you just turn off and on.
Yeah, and it's really bright.
Yeah. Well, for 80s standards.
Yeah, for the 80s.
Do I have any traits back?
No.
Because I didn't. Nothing's.
Yeah, it is not a new scene. When it's a new scene, you get them all back. Or if you roll 10 or higher on a die, then you get flare, and you can get one back.
All right. Well, I think I rolled flare last game, and I didn't mark it off. Can I mark one off, or just forget it?
Do it.
All right. Well, now that I'm geared up, I'm gonna use snooping.
Okay.
And bring the flashlight with me, and I've packed my little revolver, just in case.
Yep.
Something goes down, but I don't have it out. I just have the flashlight out.
Where is your revolver?
It's in the van.
Do you have it with you?
Is it on my person? Oh, it's just probably a hip thing, and maybe I'll put like a coat on over like a.
Okay, so you have a holster for it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a holster.
Yep. As you head towards the house.
Well, I'll ask Leah, which way did they go?
And I'll point them out. I'll point out, and say where I show them where I lost them, or point it out as best I can.
Okay.
They went that way, and then I lost sight of them. I don't know where they went after that. So.
I believe.
And maybe follow along if I can look for a trail or something.
Absolutely. I believe Ember gave Seraph. I keep on saying Seraph. God damn it. I believe Ember gave Leah a pip.
Yay, thank you.
As Nord, you snooping, describe how you get down and go the direction that Leah pointed you. She would have pointed you in the right direction that they actually took.
Yeah.
So describe snooping in that regard.
They're both wearing these big clog boots, and if it's been raining, maybe they've just left like big trails in the mud. It's not like super, but I'm gonna kind of quiet. I'm not gonna use the flashlight just yet. I just want to, maybe flick it on and then flick it off. Maybe occasionally if I get lost, and I'll probably use my coat a little bit to kind of shroud
Yeah, nice.
light a little bit, so it's not just shining everywhere, but just to kind of. So it'll probably take me some time to follow along, but it's a little bit of light, and I also have my camera and flash and stuff, but it's better not to use my flash instead of. I'd rather just use this flash.
As you make your way down there, there's the moment the rain is stopped at this point, just spitting here and there. You hear the sound of water as the water from the roofs is coming down the gutters and such. The ground is soggy, and in fact, as you said, there's footprints here and there. More from Tony than Simon, because you can tell that Simon probably avoided the mud a little bit more, being used to this kind of thing. As you see that they went through the woods next to this wrought iron gate. As you make your way into the woods, it's hard going silently because of how I described it before. It's rather dense woods, evergreens, those long pine needles. Not the short ones, the long ones. As you keep on going, you're pretty sure they went this direction. At this point, there's no more mud, but there's kind of nowhere else to go. You look inside the gate, or I should say inside the fence. There's a line of small evergreen trees that provide privacy. But here and there you can see the backyard. It's incredibly long. You see that statue that's sitting there with the bowl, the really wide bird bath. What do you do?
I don't see them. Is there
not yet
a place to climb over, or do I think they maybe have moved on, kept looking for an easier access to enter? I mean,
you haven't found an access yet. This yard is long. You can tell. Maybe like a quarter mile. You've probably gone half of that at this point. Here and there's a little pylon that's made of brick. It goes up 7-8 feet that you could climb and get over. Perhaps they did that. You can't really tell. Unless you can bid something or whatever.
Yeah, I might just keep walking the perimeter, just to, caution, just slowly. Maybe there's some mud on the scrape their, left to trail sometime. Because 7-8 feet, I don't know these guys if they're climbers or not, but it's observe and report. It's not break and enter.
As Nord, you keep on going. You don't find any place where they've knocked off their shoes. As it may occur to you, they knew not to do it. As you finally get to the corner of this fence, you're deep in the woods. It's rather dark. That said, because you're underneath the canopy, that said, you can hear birds that were not chirping before. Morning birds. As you can tell, you're probably maybe 15-30 minutes from sunrise. The terrain gets rather hilly towards the back, and you can see there's a gate on the back side of the fence. It looks like it's just ajar. It's not locked. And then there's a hill. At the top of the hill is bald, with just a few trees, this stone obelisk that you can just barely see. And on this side of it, you see a person. This is a football field away through some canopy. So you're not really sure who that is, but you do see a person with their back to you, kind of crouched down at the foot of the hill. I'm sorry, not the foot, almost at the crown of the hill.
Does it look like one of my people, or maybe somebody else?
Do you bid?
I guess skullduggery, is that a thing? I bid that.
So skullduggery, if you have it as a trait, you could do it, but that is a proficiency, and
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
okay.
bid proficiencies.
Okay.
You could also throw down if you wanted. So this is a bid or throw down.
What about? Can I bid world traveler?
If you've got it, how would that
Yeah.
apply?
Well, I've traveled the world, and I've seen a lot of people, a lot of different sizes of people and shapes of people, and
Yeah, that makes sense. You pay attention to the general shape and size and how people move. Even at a distance, you can tell that's probably Tony.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony appears.
All right. Well, I'll stealthily continue towards them if it's Tony.
Are you
Wow,
going to
Tony.
bid anything to do this, or are you just going to move up there?
I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm kind of out of traits to bid. That I think.
Have
are
you used up
relative
your?
to-
Oh, indeed. Have you used up all your free traits?
I mean, I've got a couple of traits that aren't necessarily. I mean, I'll use my swagger.
Yeah,
What
that would work.
Which
That would
is
work. Which is what?
persistent.
Yeah. Yeah, as you it makes sense. You've passed out a couple times in the last 48 hours, and you're plugging through. As covered in who knows what. As you're moving
Yeah,
up,
no,
you find this
everything.
this path, and you're slowly moving up on the hill. Action is on you two. What are you doing? Tony, you see Simon. Suddenly, like he snaps a twig, kicks a rock, it scutters. It's Skittles. Click, 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 click. Across the taste the rainbow across the stone as he goes, shit, and ducks behind one of the stones as the girl turns and she says, is anyone there? Is anyone there? And she kind of like snoops around a little bit, cautiously, before going back to her slab. She picks up some stuff. One thing looks like a bird, like she unfolds its wings. And you see her break one of the wings and, pulling out a knife, cut the wing off as blood spills out onto the stone. And she starts doing this, spattering the blood on the stone and murmuring something.
She previously did that to the statue, or at the statue, and I think it's safe to say that Tony realizes that the pool that was in the statue's plate was blood,
Tony definitely thinks that.
probably from a previous ritual.
Make a sanity roll. As
Alright.
clearly she is sacrificing things and summoning demons.
That
Absolutely.
is a what, a D8?
No, it's your action die and your mind die.
Oh, okay, yeah. Awesome.
Threshold will be 2 on this.
1.
My- 1 success?
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything to make that higher?
Nope.
Okay. Good. Gotta turn my fan on, my AC turned off. You gain a flaw. This flaw will be called paranoid. And what is your line of derangements? What did you pick?
For my derangements, so for my flaws, I picked spendthrift and calloused.
I don't mean the flaw, the derangement.
Oh, the derangements.
So you just choose one, and that's how you go crazy when you go crazy.
Phobia.
Okay. Mark a box. How many boxes do you have right now?
I just picked it. I don't know how many boxes.
Okay, so you have one box then.
Yeah.
Okay. As you feel a shiver down your spine, as the thought of thick, coagulated blood filling this bowl. How many bodies would it take to fill this, you think? You don't know. As you remember stepping through the blood in Leah's apartment of Cloyce's body. And you remember all the blood you saw in Rebecca's apartment, all on the walls and the hieroglyphics and such. As you're building up a phobia.
The blood.
Perhaps. One tick doesn't mean you're crazy. One box means it kind of gets to you. 2 boxes means, like, for example, if someone's scared of spiders, they might have 1 box ticked. That means they don't like spiders. If they have 2, that means they're not going to suffer a spider if they can see it. It's going to be a problem. 3 means they're going to leave the room. Like, they can't be around spiders. Like, they're not going to kill spiders. They're going to get the fuck out. And then it gets worse from there. No one wants to fill the last box. If you do, you go nuts. So you have to switch to a different derangement. Okay? The idea is when you go crazy, you get really fucking crazy. Right. As you get paranoid, and this shiver goes down your spine of blood, as you wonder what she was doing. Axe is on you, Tony, and Simon. What are y'all doing?
I wondered, do I hear anything behind me?
What do you bid?
I bid hardened.
Yes. As you hear some brush move, being paranoid, describe what happens.
I hear a movement of the brush behind me.
That was me bidding your flaw, by the way.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I turn around with my gun, maybe not brandished, but definitely got my hand on it, right? And I start looking around, and I have a small flashlight myself.
You pull out your flashlight and click it on?
Yes.
As you click on your flashlight, Nord, you're coming up. As Tony flashes you in the face with his flashlight. You see his hand is dug into his pocket, holding, clearly imprinted, a gun. Or his finger, whichever one. He's about 20 feet behind you.
I eventually stop, and I compose myself, and then I say, I try and whisper to him to be quiet and get over here. And this is probably going to make some noise. I try and muffle it, but you know.
What you guys?
That's what happens.
Yeah, I motion over here and I say, how'd you get up here?
What's going on? What'd you find?
She's got some birds, and they ain't dinner. They ain't pets.
Who's got birds? What are you talking about?
The lady.
You sound like me, man. What's going on, man?
We got pet. We.
Good.
Birds
You
of a
hear-
feather are dying together.
You hear behind you as
She's swinging it.
as Tony, you know what she's doing. You can feel it. She's breaking the other wing.
Yeah.
Simon, you hear all of this, and you also hear Tony go. It doesn't seem like the woman. It doesn't seem like the girl has heard it though.
Okay.
And she's deep in whatever she's doing. And she's now chanting again.
Okay. I'm going to bid authoritative and come out from behind the thing. Annabelle, knock it off. Quit it with this. What are you doing? Everyone's worried about you and you're back here doing stupid stuff with birds.
I'm
This is
gonna grab my light.
ridiculous.
Lil Gotham says, "Is that a gun in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?"
I'm gonna grab my light and shine it on whatever he's looking at.
Ember says, "Yep, birds of a feather being plucked together. Good." As you both, as Tony and Nord, you're just down the crown of the hill, just past the lip of it. You hear Simon, in the stern dad voice, come out and say what he says. You hear a from a girl as the girl turns towards Simon. At the same time, Nord, you pop up with your flashlight. Flashlighting the girl, and then Simon, and then back at the girl. You see her hands are covered in thick blood. There's this just ruined bird, both wings and feathers everywhere. There's splatters of blood all over this massive stone, some bones, some dice, some D20s and shit. Simon, you see a young girl. She looks like she's in her, maybe she's a teenager, late teens, 16, 17, 18 perhaps. Porcelainish skin, lots of makeup, like thick white makeup, black lips, huge eyelashes, probably fake. She has an upside down cross painted on her forehead. She is waspy as fuck. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Fucking pose is what she is.
She is very cute. She's not beautiful. She's not old enough for that. She's cute, but you can tell as the corner of her lip kind of curls up, she's cute in a bitchy way. Probably she's very young, but she probably doesn't know that she's young, if you know what I mean. As she kind of, "Who are you?" she says, spitting at your authority.
Yeah, someone thought you were in trouble.
And just then a flashlight in her face, and she's like doing this like a vampire. As she actually bares her teeth, and you see she has two fangs.
Somebody thought you were in trouble, not just out here causing
She bolts.
mayhem. I'll chase after her.
She, in her dress, like a runaway nun, going down the way.
Like towards Nord and Tony.
Go away.
Oh,
It looks like, I'll give you this. It looks like she knows where she's going.
Okay. I will chase after.
So, this is a combat, or we're in what's called rounds of bidding. So the world action. Nord hits her with the spotlight. She fangs. She takes off running. So that's the world action. Now, cunning. The round of cunning. Does anybody spend cunning?
I will.
Okay.
I will.
I'm gonna turn on my fan really quick. I'll be right back.
If it becomes relevant, that is, for me to bid cunning.
All right. Sorry. So who spends cunning? Put your hand up if you if you dropped it.
I will,
If you-
yeah.
Okay, so everybody spends cunning. So it is your all's turn. You decide what order you go in.
I think, is it okay if I go first? Since I'm
Yeah,
chasing.
yeah.
let me do a real quick description really fast for Leah, since she's not actually in that same location. Leah, you notice you're still in the car, so you don't really hear any shouting or anything, because they're not half a mile away, but they're almost half a mile away. What you do see though
Okay.
is on that little bald hill, you see flashlights, and you can tell, oh, they're probably up there.
Shit's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Simon.
I'm gonna chase after her to try and catch her.
She has a head start, and she knows this terrain. It's bald up here, but there are some trees, and rather quickly, since it's a small hill, she's over the edge and is running down through these trees. So she has a pretty sizable advantage on you right now. You will have to bid and throw down to catch her.
And I bid.
You can shoot her, too.
Shit.
Stop! Bam, bam, bam! Yeah, you could bid evasive.
Okay.
All right, you'll need to throw down. This will be Grace.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let me see the threshold really quick. I'm actually going to roll for her. Since she's trying to get away. Oh, well. Threshold is 2. She slips. So antagonists, so people know and the chat knows, antagonists have something called BODEF, which means bonus defense. It's a static bonus, static successes that, depending on the level of antagonist they have, that they just get. And then they also get to roll on top of that. It's up to the arbiter whether or not they roll. Usually that depends on, is the antagonist aware? Are they good at it? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. This person has a BODEF of 2. So the threshold for her to do stuff that she should be good at is 2, and then whatever she rolls. Go on.
I got 3 successes.
All right, how do you do this? Because you get a clean success.
So I take off after her, even though it's a terrain I don't know, I've run through the streets and stuff before chasing a suspect down. This is something I'm good at. So I get close enough to her and just grab her arm like you would a petulant child.
Nord and Tony, you see this person make for the trees as with just 3 strides, Simon grabs her by the arm and does the quintessential like arm lock and gets her down as she screeches like a little girl. She screeches like the child she is, but doesn't look. Let go of me! What do the rest of you do?
Does it look like he's hurting her, or it's just a normal takedown?
It looks like he's grabbing her and he's not trying to wrench her arm or anything. Or are you?
Did
No.
did I see what she was doing, or did I see any of the?
You see
stuff?
blood splatter everywhere. You see this defiled bird that's been ripped up, feathers.
Yeah.
She's covered. Her hands are covered in blood.
Blood.
Speaking of Simon, because you got one success, in the event you wanted to deal damage to her, you could, and you would have dealt an extra point of damage. If you wanted to restrain her, you could have, but the point is you have her right now. That's just
Yeah.
mechanics. You would actually
It's
have
just
an
like-
advantage on her.
Well, clearly he's got it managed, so I am going to. I mean, it looks like he's got her managed, right?
Looks like he's manhandling a teenager
Yeah.
in a wizard robe.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull my camera and use probably my last camera thing out and take a photo of the scene that she made.
Okay, what do you bid to do it?
I got a flash on my camera.
Are you taking her picture and Simon's, or just the scene of what she
so,
did?
With the dead animals, and then kind of artistic in the foreground, and then the Simon
Okay.
in the background.
Sure.
Holding this kid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright, what
just
do
so
you
the readers want to see you.
What do you bid?
The flash of my camera.
Okay. So as you bid that, Simon, you see this old-timey flash. You know exactly what it is. You have been photographed. Tony, what are you doing? So you
Well, I'm
drop
wondering,
cunning?
the first thing I'm doing is wondering if I'm in the photograph.
You were not. You were behind the photograph.
All right. I go and I attempt to help Simon restrain her.
What do you bid to do it?
I bid. Can I bid a flaw?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Calloused.
Awesome. How do you go about this?
I walk up and just grab the other arm.
All right. She's basically in a full Nelson, put on by two grown men.
Tony,
Yep.
do you have
Nord,
any handcuffs on you, Tony?
this doesn't look good.
No, I don't.
This is a bad look. As Simon turns in a gruff voice, "Do you have handcuffs?" As she screams. Leah, it is your cunning whenever you want to go. Just let us know when.
Well, and
You hear a
at this
scream.
point, can I? I hear a scream. Okay.
Yeah, you
Can
can't
I
see
see
anything. 'cause
anything from where I'm at?
You're still
No,
you're
okay.
you're a quarter of a mile away through the woods in a car. You do hear you see
Okay,
you see the flashlight, you see the flash of the camera. It's becoming twilight because the sun is rising, and you hear a blood-curdling scream.
Okay. Were the keys left in the car?
Yes. If I left you guys in the car, I would have left the keys.
Yep, the keys are there.
Okay. At this point, then I'm probably actually turning on the car and like driving that way.
Okay, okay. You pull out of the driveway, and you go to the cul-de-sac where the house is. What do you do?
I can't get to where I saw the flashlights, can I?
I mean,
on the road?
you could take this Buick through the woods if you want. It will likely get stuck in the woods when you do that. Imagine driving through the woods without a road in a really rich
I mean-
neighborhood.
Okay, so I'll look. Ooh, this
But you
is
can do
hard because I don't know what. Yeah.
Lil Gotham says,
I'm trying to
"Do it."
turn.
This
All right.
this is
Lil
the
Gotham says,
'80s.
"Do it."
This is the '80s. You can lock your kid in the car. They used to do it all the time back then.
So Lil Gotham says, "Can I give a point for her to take the Buick and actually make it through?" Lil Gotham, that would be a narrative point, and yes, you could. So the narrative point would be, you would spend the narrative point. You can change the narrative so that somehow, and this is up to you, you got to make it. You got to sell it. So it's not just haha, it works. You got to sell it. Somehow you take the Buick up there, or you find a way or something that's going to be on you to do, and if you don't do it right, then you won't be doing it right. So, what do? Do you drop this narrative point?
So, if she does it, I got a plan.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, so basically, and if you've ever been like through a really thick like pine needle stuff, like there's random branches and shit under there all the time, and so like you can't see it on the surface, but when you're driving the car over it, there'll be like branches that'll give the car enough traction to get through the.
I dig it.
The mess.
Lil Gotham says, "I'll give her the narrative point. It slips and slides, and there's cussing the entire time. So
yes,
you have to show us that scene, as Mariah will wake up during this time."
All right.
What are you doing?
Sit. Be quiet. I'm focusing.
As she grabs the wheel, Mom, what are you doing? As you're driving through the fucking forest.
Why are you grabbing the freaking steering wheel? You don't know how to drive.
I know how to drive. I know not to go through the woods. Damn it! As you're going over rocks and shit, one of the tires squeaks as it almost bursts. Boop, boop. You guys up top, actually, we'll say Nord. You hear this crashing sound through the woods as you slowly turn around, looking over your shoulder, and you see the trees as you hear headlights appear. You see the Buick driving up this incline, like sliding. It pops off one like this little lip as like a window breaks, and it drives up to you.
Okay.
Baddies.
I don't know what to do with this.
As the bad. Go on. You can react.
I'll just take a photo of that too.
Leah, you see Nord turn and go, and the flash blinds you for a second as you go, ah! And the car stops a few feet in front of Nord. Bad guy turn, or antagonist turn. This girl struggles violently against you. So this will be a throwdown for Tony. I'm sorry, for Simon. Tony, you can, since you bid to aid him, you can give him either your grace or your brawn aspect die as an extra die. So which one do you want to give him?
I will give him my grace.
Okay, what is it?
It's D6.
Okay, so Simon, you have a throwdown. This will be brawn because you're going against her. The threshold is 3. So you have your action die, your brawn die, and the D6 from Tony. You also hear a honk from a familiar horn.
That is only a 2. 2 successes.
All right, as she wraps around, and you see she takes her nails, just these claws of nails, and digs them into your neck, and just draws blood as she pushes you off. Tony, you're holding onto her hand, but she's covered in blood, bird blood, as she just slips out. Unless you have something to bid, Simon, for ninja gear that could give you an extra die, or you can do proficiencies. Or you could spend a point of breath and you go to limbo, which means a yes but. Otherwise, she's getting away and dealing damage.
Okay, I can bid a trait on the ninja gear, right?
Yes.
If it has a trait.
Yeah, ninja gear and ninja gear traits will give you extra dice.
Okay, I'm gonna bid stunning on my slapjack.
What's the die on it? As in how many normally ninja gear
It's
gives
a
you
D.
D4?
It's a D6 because
Okay.
it has
Roll.
one trait, so that makes
Cool.
it a D6.
Roll D6.
Nope. So that means...
Will Gotham says, like the fucking car from Harry Potter bursting out of the Forbidden Forest.
Okay.
Ember says, slippery little cultist.
I'm gonna bid. I'll do a proficiency on violence.
Yep.
Still nope.
You can keep on going. Give me your resources.
I'll bid on my revolver.
Okay. Yeah. How many traits does it have?
It has just the one, so that's a D6.
So
as
D6.
well.
All right, roll it.
Yeah. Nope.
All right, so you've done two ninja gears, so you can't do any more ninja gear.
Right, and I did a proficiency, so.
But you can do as many proficiencies as you want. You can do up to 2, activate up to 2 abilities. That said, since you bid your revolver, there has to be a narrative way that actually worked. So keep that in mind. As in failing this, you have drawn your revolver at this point.
Oh, okay. Then I'll bid skullduggery proficiency.
Yep.
There we go. So that gets me to 3, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So that's
So-
limbo. All right. As you break out, maybe it's just habit. It's a situation. You hear your Buick way too close. You hear the horn as the anger of whatever's happening behind you, of Nor just running around, flashing you with the splash, of this girl who just won't stop. She just scratched your neck and drew blood, as without even thinking, maybe because you've been up for 48 hours, you've seen some shit tonight you can't explain, but you know you can explain it, of course. You pull out your gun and point it at her for a moment as you realize what you're doing. But it's enough. She sees it. She sees a gun pointed at her as she goes, and holds her hands up and stops struggling. Oh, don't shoot me, as she pleads.
Down. And then I'll look over and hearing I guess I would see the lights now, right?
Oh,
Of
you
my
see,
Buick.
you see the Buick headlights.
What?
Window's broken, it's cracked, and Nord's sitting there taking pictures.
What in the ever-loving fuck is going on?
Leah is doing this, rubbing her eyes. Every so often you hear her elbow hit the horn. Honk, honk. As Maria is like screaming, like messing with the wheel. Maria jumps out of the car. Oh my God, what is going on? What is Annabelle? she says at the girl. As the girl turns and looks, and they both look like, for a moment, for a beat, they look absolutely terrified and absolutely their age. And then Annabelle's face screws up again as she turns. Who the fuck are you?
Well, I'm the person who's about to have a stern conversation with your parents. Let's go.
All right, last bit, and this is going to be the last encounter, the last little scene for the night. What are you all doing?
Leah, you better get that back down there, and I hope that your husband makes enough to fix my car.
She's just muted. She can't.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you're muted.
Now you're
Now
fine.
you're unmuted. Nope, can't hear you. Nothing.
Nothing.
Wonder if I can help.
It's probably on her end. Discord has probably decided, or if you opened up another app or plugged in something or whatever,
Or if the iPhone muted it.
or if the iPhone muted it. Yeah. So you figure that out. We'll figure out these other guys really quick. Nord, what are you doing?
I am shocked about the guy holding a gun at this little girl. Like, whoa, man. It's just a little girl. I know she's doing some really fucked up shit. But I think we got this under control at this point. There's no reason to scare or brandish. Maybe, yeah, she's a little fucked up kid, but I think we got this managed. I think we should look at what she's doing and try and figure out why she's doing it, because this is pretty fucked up. I'm
Are
not
you
seeing
all?
this.
I'm gonna call the cops, she says.
Can you
You're
guys
gonna
hear me
call
now?
the cops?
We can hear you.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to call the cops. I mean, what you're doing is, it's some serial killer
What
shit.
I'm doing
man.
is none of your fucking business, old man. Who the
Well,
fuck
it
are
might be
you?
old.
She's got like the neck crane, and she's like doing the point. She's this little goth kid. By the way, she's got fangs and blood
She's got
all over her.
fangs.
Yes,
You're
she
gonna
has
so you're
fangs.
gonna call the cops. What are you gonna tell them about the fangs?
As she kind of stops for a second, not like there's a look of not surprise. What's the word? She doesn't understand. Confusion on her face for a moment. Fuck you, man. Get the fuck off my property. Do you guys even live here? I've never seen you before. Mariah, who the fuck are these people? Are these some of your poor friends?
Whoa. Mariah, who is this little bitch?
Mariah's sitting there or standing there. She's kind of speechless. She turns around, like looking at you, looking at
Don't tell me
Annabelle.
you're friends.
No, she's a. And she gets back in the car.
Uh-huh. Well,
Let's
we're
go.
gonna have. What is it you don't want to tell me, Mariah?
She rolls up the window. The other
It's the
window is broken.
Oh, I think it's the broken one, and she's just turning the handle.
Break it.
Uh-huh. We're going to have a talk about this anyway. About your car. I heard a scream, and what was I supposed to do? I couldn't leave my daughter.
You could have just locked the doors and left her in the car.
The sun is starting to slowly come up. You can't. It's not actually above the horizon, but you can see the sky turning. The clouds are blood red.
Well, anyway, we need to get this figured out. So, what were you doing out here, young lady?
Who the fuck are you? You don't own this place. You don't own me.
I didn't say I did.
I'm calling the cops now. You touched me. And so did you. She looks you up and down, Tony. What are you, Canadian?
Whoa.
Are you Canadian, by the way?
Tell me high or low.
Hi.
Do you want her to be?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I'll have Drizzle roll me a d12 and tell me if it's a 7-up.
Nope.
Ugh. No, I'm not Canadian.
Can I use my demeanor? I have an unsettling demeanor to get her to calm down and focus.
Yeah. So you bid? What do you bid?
Yeah, I bid my demeanor, and I would like to use.
I'm a bit vexed as to how unsettling is supposed to make her calm down, but let's see what happens.
Really quick for the chat, Lil Gotham says, "I'll go ahead and give my pip to Nord to use at his discretion. I'm entertained by his dedication to taking pictures as the weirdest moments and loving every minute of it." Ember says, "Active bitch mode." Lil Gotham says, "Okay, boomer." Ember mortified, and Lil Gotham goes like this.
The irony being that the girl would actually kind of technically be the boomer,
Right,
wouldn't
right.
she?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a like I was born in the 30s. That's like long before the boomer.
Yeah, you're the greatest generation. Actually, the girl is the boomer.
Tony's a boomer.
But when it comes down to it,
Tony's a solid boomer.
So what are you doing?
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my unsettling like grandpa demeanor, probably to her, and get her to calm down. It's like, you know why we're here, and we've seen what you've done, and I think we're looking for your friend.
Go ahead and roll. You will throw down for this. This will be either wits or mind.
Yeah.
The threshold would be higher. It would be. Hold on. It would be 3, but because of what you said that last part about your friend, it'll drop it down to 2.
Okay. And can I use when plans go awry to go to limbo?
Only if you fail. Only if you have yeah. And it's an utter failure is when it can go to limbo.
I utterly failed.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah, you can in fact use plans go awry, and it goes instead to limbo.
And
wow.
All I have is violence left. Can I do a reroll on one of those?
Yeah.
And then I'll point my finger out and I'll put it right on her nose. I was like, I just need a little bit of information and we'll walk away.
Go ahead and make your reroll.
That was a failure.
All right, so you go from an utter failure to a failure with plans go awry.
Yeah.
As the only way to get to limbo is to spend breath, which means whatever. As Nord comes forward, touching Annabelle's nose in front of you. The scene is the car all beaten up, Mariah just like this, staring out. She's obviously wounded and pissed and all kinds of things that she's going through. Tony leering at Annabelle like a TSA employee.
I got one more thing I'd like to do.
Oh, you will. This is just describing the scene. Simon, with his gun at his side, a few feet away, and Leah in the middle of all of this. Go ahead.
I like to bid priest, and I
Do
will. I will look at the young woman, and I will say, young woman, is there something you would like to tell me about the men who left the house earlier, who walked out the door and off through the woods? It's okay, but it would really help us if you just told us who they were and why they were here.
That is an interesting assertion, sir. I'll entertain it. Go ahead and throw down.
Okay, so that is, I guess, what, grace?
No.
Oh.
I don't see anything grace about. Grace is like agility. It's a physical trait.
Oh. Mind?
Yeah, you're going out on a hunch, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You're assuming and hoping that your hunch is correct.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see if it is. I'm gonna say the threshold for this is 2. And here are the stakes. If you get a clean success, then in fact, 2 people or at least 1 person did leave her house, and you're gonna get information. If it's limbo, you'll still get some information, but it's obvious that you're kind of talking out of your ass.
Yeah, so it's an action dice.
Yep.
And my mind dice, right?
Yep.
And the action is D10.
Yep.
Okay.
He was trying to use grace because of the grace of God.
Right. Right.
Damn.
That's no successes.
Are you gonna do anything to add to it?
Geez, what can I do?
So you can do proficiencies to re-roll a die, and as many as proficiencies as you want to re-roll dice. You can bid ninja gear up to 2 to get extra dice. You can spend a point of breath to just go to limbo, and you can activate up to 2 abilities, assuming they make sense, to gain successes if you have upgrades on them. So 1 upgrade would be a +1, 2 upgrades would be a +2.
I'll spend a point of breath. Can I then re-roll the
Nope.
D10?
Nope. When you spend a point of breath, everything you've done goes out the window, and you just go to limbo.
Do you get
Okay.
those? If you use a breath, do you get those traits back, or does that?
No.
that'll-
They're
it'll
all
just go?
spent.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you spend breath, you forego everything that happened, and you go to limbo.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. As you spend breath is the metaphysical thing that ties the physical to the spiritual. It metaphorically, it figuratively, and maybe literally ages you when you do it. As you drop that point of breath, going to limbo, something about what Tony says seems to resonate in the air. Almost like a prophecy. As he goes into priest mode, you all see him, his back straighten. He walks forward and kind of has like the priest judo chop going on. His voice kind of echoes, and for a moment, he looks a little bit older than he is. Tony, how old is your character?
31.
He's got some salt and pepper in the hair. Maybe it's the light. You know, the light is weird with this twilight coming up. He just looks like an older man. More like a priest. Wizened. Somehow, he's pulling information out. Nord, as you're sitting there, your index finger on her nose, you happen to notice this. And maybe your scent of colors activates a little bit. You can kind of see her aura. You can see his aura. What the fuck? Annabelle, her mouth is kind of gaping as she says, There weren't two of them. There was just one. And it wasn't a man. It was a woman. You know her. Lady Callie. She came to the house, but I don't like her, so I hid. She's got a key.
He has a key to your house?
She turns, still kind of stunned, as the priestly image is sort of fading. Yeah.
Why?
Is
Because my mom and dad are on vacation, and they're good friends with the Rotary Club, and they all get together and do stuff. They all have keys to each other's houses.
Oh
is this
my.
where you learned this stuff?
She kind of looks at you. I learned this on my own, okay? I read. I go down to the
Oh.
oddities shop all the time.
Maybe
Is
you
that
should
where you
learn to
met
read
my
something
daughter?
else.
What?
Is that where you met my daughter?
She kind of, her lips pierce, as you can tell, maybe. What did you say, Simon?
Oh, maybe you should read something else.
Maybe you should shut the fuck up, old
Well-
man.
Hey, we can calm down just a little bit now. We're all
You know what? Why don't you calm down?
you're just you're just a ball of joy, aren't you?
And she says,
can I-
look, I'm going back into my house because I live here. And when I get out, you better have your little ragamuffin crew gone. Okay? Or I'm going to call
Okay.
the cops.
You can do that, but you wouldn't get to see Mariah ever again.
But the cops are gonna think that you did this to Gabby.
Oh, shit. It's a double whammy. As Leah, you say that, it kind of takes the steam. You can tell that Annabelle doesn't want to show it, but it does take the steam out of her that you threatened this. Because despite what she's saying or what she said, you can tell she knows who you are. And Nord, as you mentioned Gabby, like literally by name, you see real fear in her eyes as she clams up a little bit and she goes, wait. And she steps back a little. Who are you? Who are you all? And you can tell she's terrified of you now. That is where we're going to end.
Cool.
All right. Closing thoughts. Did anybody get any major or minor goals?
No, not yet.
It depends on if I had the can I use that pip and say that I threw that little letter that I created into a mailbox.
Yeah, do it.
All right. 'Cause if that's the case, then I got a minor goal because I sent
Okay.
the story up to the press.
Who's marking the group goals?
Not it.
I am.
Okay. Remember, don't forget this because that will fuck you all. So that means make another tally. So that means you have 2 right now. When you get to 12, let me know because that means everyone advances when you get to 12. Because you got a minor goal, Nord, you get 1 pip. You get 1 XP. You get back 1 cunning and or 1 cunning and 1 breath. So once you get to 3 XP, you can cash them, and it goes to 0, and then you can have an advancement. If you go over 3, you cash it, you get an advancement, and it just keeps on going. So let's say I was at 2 XP and I got a major goal, I get 2 XP, so I'd have 4. I would cash it, I'd be at 1 XP and have an advancement. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
I know I said that really quickly. How many XP are you on right now?
I think you gave us 2 experience.
Yeah. So you just got 1, so now you're at 3.
Yeah.
You cash it, so it goes to 0.
Yeah.
And mark down that you have 1 advancement that you can spend on the next montage.
Okay.
The idea is, let's say you had gotten 2 XP instead of 1. You would have gone to 4 instead of 3. Well, the thing is, you can't go above 3.
Okay.
So what happens is, you don't lose that extra XP. It just cycles back, and now you would be at 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then advancements you can use on traits and everything, right?
You can use advancements. You can gain a trait, gain a proficiency use, add a trait to your ninja gear, or gain an ability or add an upgrade.
Cool.
And when you have 5 pips, you can trade that in for a trait.
Yeah,
right.
That's called dropping the load.
I feel like
That's
But
in
that
the book.
happens in a montage, correct?
No, you can drop the load anytime you want.
Oh, okay.
All you have to do is say, "Yo, I'm dropping the load,"
Well,
and you gain it. Dropping a load, you only can gain a trait.
right. I did that, but
Okay.
I thought I'd have to wait till the montage.
Nope.
So I
You can do
picked
it
up
anytime.
I picked up power through.
Yeah.
That's my trait.
You drop a load to because you can only have a maximum of 5 pips. In the
Right.
book, you can have as many narrative points as you want, but I'm putting a cap on it at 5. That's going to be in the errata, because the thing is that people do bank them. In the book, it says don't bank them, but in practice, you do. So, yeah, you can only have 5 narrative points. Okay, did anyone else hit a major or minor goal?
Mm-mm.
Has everybody written down your major and minor goals?
My minor goal is protect Annabelle. Does that count?
I would change that to a major goal or something that you can actually accomplish. Because right now you don't know what you're protecting her from necessarily. I mean, if it's death, that's one thing, but that would be a major goal, not a minor. And so you can develop these minor goals. You can get in 1 to 2 sessions.
Right.
So keep that scope. 1 or 2 sessions, you can get a minor goal. A major goal is 3 to 5 sessions. So the thing is, if you start thinking, okay, well, I want to figure out, I'm going to prevent the next murder. That's beyond even a major goal, unless you're to that point in the story.
Okay.
Right? You want to actually be able to achieve it. Protecting Annabelle at this point, I think that would be a major goal.
Okay. Because I was thinking more so watching over her, protecting her, because
thing
that's
is
what we
that-
were going to go. Yeah.
The thing is
I
that
see what you're
that's
saying.
continuous and it never ends, right?
Okay.
So you can't accomplish it because you can't accomplish it.
Right.
What I will say is change that to a major goal, restructure it so you can actually do it, and I'll give you a minor goal that you've already I'll say that you've accomplished the minor goal of finding Annabelle and making contact with her, which is what you were trying to do. So
Okay.
you'll get a minor goal. That means you get 1 pip, 1 XP, return 1 cunning and 1 breath, and Hulker, mark another tally.
So another minor, the group goal is now up to 3.
Yep. So for the group goals, it doesn't matter if it's minor or major. You just mark 1 for everybody that gets them. And when it gets to 12, everyone advances.
Okay. I am gonna take all of my notes, and by tomorrow, by this time tomorrow, it's going to be up on that document. I'm going to update it.
Sweet.
I'd like you all to add, since you all have edit privileges, please add any details that I might have missed, any descriptions, anything you want to add it in.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And if you do that, then you'll get 1 XP on top of that. So if you actually add in your shit. Hulker, when you get a chance, if it's possible, to have a link to that for just viewing, post it in the Red Writ character thing, and that way,
You mean for the public or?
yeah, for the public,
Okay.
so people can actually read it, and also post a link to the. Oh wait, we haven't figured out the map, so yeah. Awesome.
What about? I know you've moved on, but so once you've gotten a minor goal, does that change? Do you have a new minor goal, or do
You have to
just
decide the next minor goal. Yep.
you have to do a different one? All right, gotcha.
Yep. And just clear it with me. The reason you would clear it with me is so that it's kind of on track. The idea in DreadLore is the players have their minor and major goals, and when they're in line with the arbiter, everything you're doing is towards your character's goal, and it's towards what the arbiter's story is going towards. So you're constantly trying to do the same kinds of things, right? So if you were like, oh, I got a major goal, it's to get to Los Angeles, I'd be like, that's not a good goal. Because that's not where the game is.
Absolutely.
And who wants to come out to Los Angeles? Jesus Christ. All right. So we're almost at 11. Wow, we're actually on time. We've done the break. Okay, so I want to do a thanks to the Patreon patrons. So Daniel Holker, boom. Tim Roberts. Tim just threw down big time with me. I'm doing new content on Patreon. It's going to be exclusive photos and videos for this kind of web series that I'm formulating. I think it's going to have to do with gaming. I'm still writing it, but that's going to be a thing. And I've rebranded the thing and made new tiers. So if anyone's interested in looking at the Patreon, please do. Join it if you want. If you don't, it's fine. If you have pointers, that'd be great too. Thank you to the viewers, Lil Gotham, Ember, Kentucky Fried. Lil Gotham and Ember, thank you so much for participating in the chat.
Yes.
And that all of you can thank the viewers if you would like.
Let me say,
Thank
sorry.
you for the tips.
Thank you.
We have picked up 2 new followers. Dog Wizard and Saga Genesis are following us, and Little Gotham, Kentucky Fried Dice, both subscribed. So thank you guys.
Fucking A.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys tons. Well, we all appreciate it. When I finally learn how to use Twitch, then I'll do something with those subscriptions. I think I can add like little emojis and shit. Speaking of, if to the players, if you guys have any thoughts or if you can help out with the Twitch at all, it's kind of complicated. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But I know that we can do certain things with subscribers, and the idea is once we have enough, it makes sense to do things like a subscriber only live stream or a subscriber only chat or whatever. I don't want to put too many demands on your guys' time, but we can also talk about doing that as an extra if it's just like a conversation we want to have with them if they want to join or whatever we want to do. But that's something that we can talk about. So thank you guys for subscribing and being a part of it. We're going to be posting more and more on the Instagram to try and get viewers on this thing. So feel free to repost any of our posts and all that good stuff. Thanks to Couchfire Media for doing the media production. Couchfire is rock and rolling and making this thing actually look presentable. It is definitely upped our game. So thank you. Yeah, and if you want to try out DreadLore, then there's links in on the Twitch. There's a link tree which has literally all the shit. You can do a lot of different kinds of settings. Anything else that you guys have to add?
Oh, I want to thank all lowercase letters for doing all the music for tonight's show.
That's right. I need to write that down in my little thing.
All lowercaseletters.com for I don't know if the levels are correct yet. We're still trying to figure out what the levels are. And then there's a band that I want to use next week to do some music. They're a noise band based out of Oakland, California. And it's called Mr. Interrupt, and I think they're on Instagram and SoundCloud and all those.
What are they called?
Mr. Interrupt.
Mr. Interrupt.
It's really grimy, noisy, fun. Yeah, we're going.
Fuck yeah.
Spooky vibe.
We're gonna do all that. I will post this video to the YouTube. It'll premiere tomorrow in 24 hours. I noticed the last video got some copyright hits, but they were not copyright strikes. They were just from Epidemic Sound. Hey, look. So what I did was I took all of those songs and the authors, or the writers, whatever the fuck they're called, and put them in the credits. We're not monetizing the YouTube because, I have we've got 79 subscribers on the YouTube. So subscribe to the YouTube. That would actually help. So we're not monetizing it or anything. But anyway.
Those copyright strikes should go away.
Yeah, it actually says copyright, but it says it is not a copyright strike.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Well, I mean, they want you to buy some kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that's not
never
gonna
bought
happen.
it.
We ain't gonna happen. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys for showing up and being consistent with this. Yeah, and we can end the stream anytime you want.
It's